Hello and welcome to Six Part. Today I'm gonna continue the story. What if Deku was trained by Forgotten Gods Part 2? If you enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
When I saw the faces of the students, I thought, "Aw shit, another pain." After a few moments of worried glances, I naively said, "Well, what's up?" Kirishima asked, "Lunar bro, are you really okay?" Kaminari went on to say, "Yeah, that was a brutal confession." "Shut up extras, he's already said he's fine, just let off," Bakugo demanded. "Not manly Baku bro," whispered Kirishima. I said, "Don't worry, I'm fine." At this point Izumi spoke up, "Why do you go easy on me and Katsuki? We tormented you a hell of a lot worse than you said on the news, but yet you come here with no malice, no anger, and no hatred towards us. So why? Why do you not hate us?" "Why, Izumi, is because I forgave your misdeeds towards me a long time ago. I forgave them a while ago. However, that doesn't mean I wasn't going to be cold to you. I forgave you 2 years ago for me. But 1 year and 2 weeks for you. I forgave you, but that doesn't mean I ever forgot. However, in the past 5 months you've done nothing but idly sit by in class while tormenting yourself. I never approached you because I wanted you to realize all you've done and learn to do better, but you haven't, so now I'm telling you, get over what you did and use it to make sure you never, and I mean never, do it again," replied. "That's your answer? How could you forgive me and Katsuki for 10.5 years of torment, in just a short time?" she yelled. I approached her and gently said, "Because I needed to let go of that 20-year-old grudge. I needed to realize that you did what you did because you made a mistake hundreds, no thousands have made when they thought they had so much more power over others. I needed to forgive you so that I wouldn't drown myself in hatred. I needed to forgive you to move on." "Oh, okay, Lunar-san," was her response. I stuck out my hand and said, "Now let's start over. Hello. My name is Izuku Lunar. Would you like to be my friend?" So Mawe," Kirishima cut him off as he began to shed his so-called manly tears. Izumi answered, "Yes, I would like that," and shook my hand. "Now Bakugo, listen and listen to me well. If you can't get your cocky attitude out of your goddamn way, 1, you will never become a good hero. 2, you will not pass the provisional license exams, and 3, you will push away more people," I screamed before gently adding. "More people than you could ever gain. You will push away everyone who extends their hand towards you in friendship to help you when you need it. You will push away chokes while tears fall away all your friends till no one thinks why you can BBS saved." Ha, so the nerd finally shows his crybaby self after nearly 2 months into UA, about fucking time, Deku. Bakugo chuckles. "No, I just don't want to see what happened with Sasuke-sensei happen with you. His brother murdered his whole clan. Then his friends tried to help him get vengeance the right way and stop Itachi the right way. But no, he ran from the village, betrayed everyone, and went to a criminal to get more power. After tons of attempts via his friends to save him despite his actions. He eventually got his revenge, but then learned that his brother killed his clan because they were planning to plan a coup on the village, which would have left them vulnerable to be attacked by other villages and would ultimately end the village's existence. And rather than see why Itachi did in turn to help the village the way his brother, he decided he would destroy the village instead. Upon hearing this, what did his friends do? Well, they tried to save him up to that point, but no avail until all but one person turned on him, and they even made a plan to kill him to rid the world," I replied. "Wow, your sensei went through a lot, but why didn't we hear about him?" replied Kaminari. "Did No way." Kaminari asked something useful for once, Juru said. Iida wondered, "But all things aside, why haven't we heard of him?" "Iida, show the class the power I gave you," I stated. He exclaimed in surprise, "WWA, you said to keep it a secret?" The entire class stared at Iida in confusion. Iida gingerly approached the wall, walked on it, and then stepped onto the ceiling before he stopped hanging there after noticing that I was serious. "Nani, what the fuck?" cried Bakugo. "This power he's demonstrating is one of the basic abilities people have from his world. Now if you remember the Susanoo that I showed you, well, just follow me," I stated. They then trailed me to one of the fictitious cities. After walking to the center, I used my nen to jump higher than every structure, denting the sidewalk, and then I called forth my ideal Susanoo. After saying, "This is the full power of the Susanoo," I instantly threw it away and landed softly on the ground. Bakugo said, "Ha, nerd couldn't even hold it for a minute." "Actually, I could hold it up for nearly 12 hours, but I chose not to destroy all the city and not potentially kill you all," I said. "Yeah, right, as if I believe that you hold that much power," Bakugo replied. "Kamui," was how I answered. I dragged him into the dimension and said, "Well, who wants proof?" to the class. I took Momo in and met Bakugo inside as no one else wanted to come. He questioned, "Where the hell are we, nerd?" "A pocket dimension," I utter carelessly. "Take me back, I don't give a fuck about your little dimension here," Katsuki replied. When I answered, "No, you wanted to see me hold my Susanoo, so I brought you here, now Tsukuyomi," I put Momo and Kachan in a genjutsu. They both awakened up a few minutes later to find me standing there, waiting. I knew he wasn't lying. "Zuzu could never," stated Momo. Bakugo remarked, "Hey, it was just luck," he said something without actually yelling. "I'm going to have to sort of break this goddamn miracle." "Yeah, that was a genjutsu, but yeah, I can hold it for a while. I only brought you here so I don't accidentally trap the people who don't care or didn't want to see, but I could hold the Susanoo for that long if I wanted, but what would Aizawa think if we went missing for 12 hours? That's why I showed you through a genjutsu," I replied. After saying, "Ha, I knew it, nerd," Bakugo continued. "Shut up. Zuzu showed us through a what was it called, oh yay, genjutsu, so we wouldn't be missing for that long from the real world," Momo responded. Bakugo said, "You tryna?" After Kamui, I interrupted, "I want to thank you, Mo, now that he's gone." She exclaimed, "Mo? Where did that C come from?" as she suddenly flushed. "But I can, Mo," I said, laughing, then grinning insultfully, "Ooh, so you can give me a nickname." "Oh, okay, Zuzu. But now you're calling me that from now on," she exclaimed, her face turning even redder. "Fine by me. Let's go, okay." I then dumped us down where we had left off as we left the portal. Everyone save me went home after that. Kirishima remarked, "Hey, Lunar bro, where are you going?" "Class is over," upon seeing that I wasn't following them. "Oh, I'm just going to a staff meeting. I still am a half teacher at UA after all," I say. "Okay," Kirishima replied, "see you tomorrow, Lunar bro." According to the rest of the class, by Lunar, see you later. Staff meeting on time skipping. "All right, let's begin this meeting," Nezu stated as everyone showed up. "Okay," is the response from all. First things first, I must thank Izuku Lunar here for coming here and teaching when our staff wasn't able, Nezu stated. "Oh, Nezu sir, you don't have to thank me. I was bored. I'm glad you thought that I would be a good fit," replied I. "Well, all the same, thank you. Next is I want to have Class 1A and Class 1B go on a training camp with the Wild Pussycat Squad." The staff had a really dull meeting for the following hour. There is a new test for the semester finals, and we are just reviewing future plans. I left the conference right away, arriving home at 6:12, and started training my ass till 4 a.m. As my alarm to wake up went off, I uttered the words, "Phew, what panta go panted workout pant," into the air. I then prepared for the day and went to school. The day seemed typical, yet something was different. Izumi and I started hanging together once more. Izumi, Kirishima, Sue, and Uraraka were all close friends with me throughout the course of the following few weeks. Which was a wonderful encounter. I couldn't tell a word about the announcement of the semifinals. Izumi and I mended our friendship after spending some time together, and I would sometimes refer to her as my sister. When I first told her that I would never return to that house because there were too many unpleasant memories, I didn't mind referring to her as my sister. When Tenya returned to train after class a few of times, he eventually figured out how to run the water. After testing him, I discovered that his nature was fire. So I taught him a basic form of fire jutsu called Fireball Jutsu. Needless to say, my feelings for Momo increased dramatically when I texted and spoke with her while I wasn't training or hanging out, but I kept it a secret because I was such a scared wreck. Right now. Pav of Izuku for the following week and a half, I was unable to control my emotions and continued losing my cool with her. I'm going to confess when we hang out tomorrow. We were supposed to have a training camp the following week, but from what I've heard, they were going to try to break us. Tomorrow was Friday. Like they might shatter me. Bina group chat. 3rd Pav at 4:42 p.m. on Thursday. Acid Queen. Hello. Everyone, I'm Slack. Okay. Hello, Mina. Green Teach, Creation, and Mina kicked Mina. Sonic Veer 0.5. The class group chat for important updates is located here. Restore them immediately. Floaty. Mina, what made you kick Yayarozu and Deku? Hardboy. You know, Mina is not a man. Acid Queen. I need to get your guys' opinion on something, but I'll add them back in a moment. Froppy. Ribbit what? I enjoy animals. Shadow, dark. Smacking the tail. Acid Queen. I need your assistance in connecting our VP with the student teacher. Isn't that personal, Floaty? Mina. No more. Sonic Veer. 0.5. Mina, we should avoid interfering in our peers' private affairs. It is insensitive and impolite. While it is true that as heroes in training, we should prioritize aiding others, we must also ensure that our peers' lives are their own and not push them into situations for which they may not be prepared. Pika. I didn't read that many words, that's all. All of you. Floaty. But really, let them work out their emotions. Acid Queen. If you don't realize that Yaoyorozu is the only one who makes Lunar feel agitated, you guys are really stupid. Acid Queen. They have a nickname for each other's first name in addition to being on a first name basis. Pika. Dumb. Like Kiri and you, Alien Queen is no longer available. Hardboy. You dust broke her, guy, not very manly. Pika. Dumb. You like her too, as we all know. Online as Alien Queen. Hardboy stopped working. Music nerd. Whoa. Wow, I never thought Kaminari could do that kind of thing. M going forward, Alien Queen. Hardboy is on the internet. Hardboy. I'm back, let's do something manly. Online is King Explosion Murder. King Explosion Murder. Quit talking, I'm going to sleep. The King Explosion Murder is not available. Alien Queen. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to melt something if they don't act quickly. Conversations from the previous 24 hours were deleted by Alien Queen. Green Teach and Creation were added by Alien Queen. Creation. Why did I get taken out? All of you. Everybody went offline. Creation. Alright, then. After school TIMESKIP Friday. Momo Pav, I'm going out with Izu today, which is fantastic. I'm not sure when, but he's become agitated about me, and to be honest, it's cute. Zuzu called, hey, Mo. How ya doing? She answered, I'm doing well, Zuzu. We then made the decision to see a movie before hanging out at a little coffee shop. You two look so adorable together, the cashier remarked. The phrase, we're not a couple, made my face start to get hot. Yet, Zuzu answered. I became redder than a cherry in an instant, and my face felt like it was about to burst. I was unable to even comprehend it. My crush just hinted that he might be interested in me, am I dreaming? Abruptly, I am dragged to a little table for two by someone grabbing my hand. I noticed it was Zuzu. Why haven't we placed an order yet? Why, then, would he ask me to go out? Zuzu's words, Mo, Earth to Momo, caused me to stop. Why are we here? We haven't ordered yet, I respond. Wow, you must have really been out of it. I just ordered what you usually get and already paid, but you were just standing there. Are you alright? I didn't scare you too bad, did I? Zuzu, I'm fine. I just didn't expect that, I responded. Well, based on your actions it sounds like you like the idea of it. I can't wait, said Zuzu. As I stammered, I turned red once again. No, I mean yes, would like tea that I don't know, I said. Ah. Your blush is so cute I could almost kiss you, said Zuzu. Kiss, was my response. He became red at this. Zuzu obviously didn't understand what he had said. I taunted, so you'd want to kiss me, huh? When it was my turn. I don't know, maybe, he replied. Oh really? You're one straightforward guy. Saying you'd like to kiss me when we're not even dating, someone's being naughty, I said. I see what you're doing. You don't think I haven't noticed when you'd start blushing in the most random of times? Probably having not so clean daydreams. So tell me who's the lucky person, he said. Nobody, was my response. Ah, young love, was all he muttered as the waitress noticed us talking and handed us our coffee without our knowledge. We both became flushed with shame after waking up from our reverie and eating the food. We resumed our small conversation after a brief pause. We were about to leave the coffee shop and head home after another half hour, but Zuzu turned aside. I said, Hey Zuzu, what's up? He remarked, Nothing much, princess. I asked, flushed, PP princess, where did that come from? Oops. Well anyway, I brought you to this park cause I want to ask you something, Zuzu replied. Momo Yaoyorozu, will you make me the happiest man alive and go out on a date with me? Zuzu asked, pulling me in front of a lovely tree. I shouted, why yes I would love to, when he inquired. I could tell he was hardly hanging on because I heard him sigh. This seems like Funa, I've never gone on a date before. I'm eager to see what we accomplish. Suddenly, he takes out a bracelet that was undoubtedly very costly and had the words, Momo, etched on it. Eek, was my squeal. I kissed him and put on the bracelet. For a moment, he was taken aback, but he quickly adapted. We paused for a breath after a few seconds. Izuku's perspective. Mo simply. Mo just gave me a kiss. She gave me a kiss. I feel like I'm in paradise. Her eyes captivate me even more than their stunning onyx hue. And her lips were so tender. I can't believe it, I'm going to cry. My mother kissing me again made me stop thinking. Since the kiss appeared so passionate, I gave it back while grabbing her bridal gown and driving her to the parking lot. So how about I pick you up tomorrow at 12 o'clock? I replied, breaking off our kiss once we got into the car. Okay, she cheerfully said. I asked her out on a date, and she accepted, so I was in complete happiness the entire way home. I love you, Mo, was my parting statement when we arrived home. Ah, I love you, Dezuzu, she added, kissing me briefly before leaving. Momo's perspective. I was squealing with delight into my pillow as soon as I entered my room. When my mother entered the room, I was completely unaware of it. Hey honey, why are you squealing so much, she said. Because Zuzu asked me out on a date. I'm so happy. I thought he would never ask. I'm so excited, I respond. Really? He finally worked up the nerve, huh? I'm happy for you. Just use protection. I don't want grandbabies yet, she responded. I shouted in shame, Mom, he asked me out today. We're not even close to that level yet. My dad said, what's this about a date? Oh, Zuzu finally asked me on a date and I'm so happy. Ah, the Izuku lunar kid that brought you home that one night, am I correct? He said. Yes. I replied. When we talked he seemed to have no romantic interest in you. What's changed? He responded. You mean other than since last month those two have always been hanging out? Mom asked. Ah, I see. Well, tomorrow after your little date I would like to speak with him again if you don't mind, Momo. Okay, Daddy. I joyfully answered. I'm excited for my date tomorrow as both parents then exit the room and start their own small talk. Third point of view. What do you think of the kid? He seems to be humble even with his outrageous power. But what about our daughter? I want your opinion on why he would ask her out. Haishi asks. Dear, don't worry about it. I wouldn't think that boy would have an ill intent with our girl. He seems too timid and was brutally honest when you first talked with him. He proved you after every test that he was honest, and despite his amazing power he humbles himself and uses his power to help his peers that could one day be his rival. So Haishi, I believe Izuku Lunar deserves a chance, replies Mrs. Yaoyorozu. Mr. Yaoyorozu replies, I guess you're right, honey, but I still plan on asking him and testing him. Fine by me. Now let's go. Leave the poor girl alone. It's 3 p.m., and we're already asking her about him, says Mrs. Yaoyorozu. Izuku's perspective on TIMESKIP predate. Okay, please, Izuku. Relax. The most difficult part is finished. You asked her out and she accepted, so you don't need to worry about anything else. Inhale, and then exhale. Phew. I whisper to the wall in silence. I hopped into the Lambo and drove to Momo's apartment after getting a little boost in confidence. During the entire ride, I was trying to avoid embarrassing myself by picking up my girlfriend. I spotted Momo as soon as I got there, and I was blown away. I asked, Hey Mo, are you ready? Her response was, born ready? Ah, you know how cute you sound right now, I murmured as she entered. With a hint of nervousness, she answered, and no, just how MHMPH. I kissed her and interrupted her, saying, that answer your question? Yeah, now let's go. We chose to watch a movie when I asked her what she wanted to do. After exiting, we waited for the show to begin in the movie theaters while holding hands. She remarked during the advertisements, you know Zuzu, I love your outfit. Well, I know someone who's outclassed me, I say. Who? She asked. Oh, the angel who is holding my hand. You know the girl I asked out yesterday. Ah, thanks Zuzu. After then, the movie began, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. Momo would cling closer to me and begin gripping my arm for dear life whenever something mildly frightening occurred. Goddamn, her cuteness is going to make me faint. When she first started doing it, I thought, she's just too pretty and clingy right now, I can't get enough. Momo and I went shopping after the movie, had a quick dinner, packed up, and I went to pick her up. Visit the Yaoyorozu estate in time. Third point of view. Momo asked Izuku if he wanted to spend some time in the house when she got there. Momo described how his dad wanted to speak for a brief moment. Izuku nodded right away, and the two of them knocked on the door. When he reached the door, his father ordered, come in both of you. When they entered, he led Momo and Izuku to a couch and instructed us to have a seat. He then began questioning Izuku about my plans with Momo. Haishi questioned, what are your intentions with my daughter? Personally, we just started dating. However, if possible I would like this to be my first and last relationship, responded Izuku. Momo blushed at the thought of what that might mean, Why are you attracted to my daughter? His father asked, ignoring this. Easy, because of how cute her personality is, her slightly clingy self that wants me to always give her a hug. Her absolute trust in me, her smile that is almost too bright to be human, and finally just how caring she is towards me. For example, I got myself in a weird position for one of my battle training battles where a student had stored up a big enough explosion to kill someone if they weren't careful, and even though I came out unfazed, she was worried the whole time and was always caring and affectionate towards me and took excellent care of me even though I didn't really need it, was my response. He questioned, okay, but what about her body? What about it? Ooh, you mean her slightly more mature appearance despite her age? Well, if that's the case, I've never really thought about it. There was never any need to, I responded. Really? I know you're not lying because of my quirk, but seriously? I'm getting off topic. What about her financial state? Honestly, you know how I have 2 expensive cars, a license, and all that has proved that I'm financially stable, so I have no reason to use Momo, I said. Seeing as you have not lied here, I will allow this relationship with my daughter. However, if my daughter is ever hurt by your actions, even if it's just a misconception, expect to feel my wrath. Now scurry along home. And treat her right, she stated. I said, yes, sir, and walked away. Monday at 6 a.m. 3 more days have passed since my ideal date with Momo. We were told the day after that we would be attending a training camp today. As we load our luggage, the class and I are now standing in front of the bus. The luggage was stowed away after a few more minutes when we were told that one of the seats had broken. Since the bus only had 21 seats, this seemed to be a major issue. With increasing nervousness, I said, hey, Momo, would you mind sitting on my lap for the hour ride, just so we don't have to make this a bigger deal than it is? Her response was, sure. All right, class, I shouted. Then, observing that everyone was paying attention, I said calmly, calm down and let's enter in an orderly fashion, okay? Momo and I have agreed to share our seat so no one has to worry. Iida asks, but isn't that a problem? Look, Tenya, I begin to get frustrated. Over these past few days, me and Momo have started dating. We are already acquainted with each other's parents, and have been in contact since before UA started a few months ago. Plus we both agree, so just calm down and enjoy your seat. Bakugo exclaims, Oi Deku, All Might and Telik haven't met her. I respond, displaying a photo from my phone. Well, you see, Bakugo, I live alone in my own estate and don't have parents. Kirishima said, wow, is that your house? It's very manly. Following that, I replied, yes it is. Now that everything is settled, let's get in the bus so we don't make Mr. Aizawa wait any longer. He's starting to get pies. Aizawa came in and said, hurry your asses in here or you're all expelled, even you problem teacher student. After that, we started traveling to the training camp in single file. Momo and I took the last seat, which was in the center, after everyone else had boarded. I sat down first, then drew Mo in and gave her a firm hug as the journey started. Mo was still on my legs and I was still holding her after a solid 3 hours, but I was carrying her while she dozed off on my chest and nestled against it. I started stroking her hair when she went to sleep over 2 hours ago, and I must say that it was pure happiness for me. I didn't even notice how long I had been doing this until Aizawa woke up and started talking. Alright, everybody out. And problem teacher student, wake up your girlfriend, she needs to stretch too. And also, you've been playing with their hair for 2 hours, give it a rest, Aizawa stated. Everyone turned to face me as soon as they noticed the situation we were in, so I inquired naively, what's up, you got something to say? While the girls were fangirling over me carrying Mo, a few of them cough Mina, Toru, and Izumi shot pictures. The boys all turned around and began to leave. I then took Momo up and began to walk while holding her. Come on Mo, you have to get up. Aizawa wants us to be awake and alert when we stretch, I murmured, prodding her cheek slightly. According to her, F5 more minutes, Zuzu. Fine, sleep while you're standing then. I'm not getting yelled at by Aizawa for you wanting to sleep for 5 more minutes. No, what? I'll wake up and stretch, but you have to carry me out of this bus. You won, fine, sigh. I can't look into those beseeching eyes. Yay! She exclaimed as she huddled closer. When I got off the bus, Aizawa remarked, I told you to wake her up, she should stretch as well, that way when we get there she won't be so screwed when we start working immediately. We're only 20 minutes away, so wake her. I'm up. He woke me up, but I made him carry me out cause I wanted to snuggle a little longer, Momo said, interrupting him and leaving my arms. He responded as he walked away, fine problem child, I'll let your boyfriend off the hook, this time. The Wild Pussycat teams introduced themselves after a few more seconds. Everything was going smoothly until a certain Aizawa chose to offer the kids a sneak peek at what was going to happen, and then everything went to hell. The young child who was with the Pussycat members gave me an eye roll before punching me in the balls when I questioned who he was. "Kid, if you did that to anyone else they'd be out of commission for the day," I replied. His response was, "That's the point." As the bus began to move, Aizawa said, "Make it back by sundown or no lunch for you," with his shit-eating smile. When Kaminari shouted, "Get back on the bus, every person for themselves," was what Zero screamed while attempting to apply tape to the bus. "RUUUUN," was shouted by the other students. I said, "I'm good," and hopped down. Pixie Bob abruptly changed the terrain, causing the entire class to tumble down the narrow rock face. When I saw this, I leapt and snapped some photos of my classmates who had fallen. I exclaimed, "Gold, comedic gold, ooh, this will so go viral," as they were starting to recover. Everyone's eyes were on me right away, and I thought, delete that, now. "It's your own fault for trying to get back on the bus," I said with a giggle. With puppy dog eyes, she pleaded, "Zuzu, please delete it for me." "Nope, but I will grant you an EIDA to use that if you help your classmates," I said. That was their answer. "Really?" A curious Mina interjected, asking, "What is he talking about?" After saying, "That's for them to know and you to find out when I deem it worthy," I began to leap through the woods. I made the decision to aid by destroying one monster for every 5 that I came across. I was aware that Pixie Bob may earn more, but given the current situation, it seems unlikely that she will be able to make more than 10 more in the near future. I waited for Aizawa and the Pussycats to arrive at the entrance for 10 minutes. It took them an additional 8 minutes, but the other 2 Pussycat team members, Ragdoll and Tiger, arrived before them. "Kid, why are you here? This is private property," Tiger replied. "I know, I'm part of Class 1A. The infamous student teacher Izuku Lunar," was my response. "B, but how are you here? You only have a healing quirk," she replied. "Yay, I didn't use my quirk to get here. I used my quirkless self and jumped between the trees, plus I took out 20% of the monsters for good measure," answered I. "What?" they both exclaimed. "Chill out, I left my weights at home. For this reason, I figured Shota would pull something like this, so I figured getting rid of 300 tons would help," I began and innocently said. "Besides, I might have given the class a small boost." "Then how are you here? It's only been 13 minutes since you were dropped off. You needed to go 23.3 miles in one direction to get here. Not even a speed quirk user could get here that fast," was the Tiger's reply. "Yay, and not to mention you shouldn't be able to give a boost to your class. Your quirk wouldn't boost them if you're here," Ragdoll said. "Yay, there's parts of my quirk that can't be picked up by you, Ragdoll, and for Tiger, I said I was carrying 300 tons. If you could walk and run at a normal speed, if you're carrying 300 tons on your body, how fast do you think it would take to get here?" So I repeat, I got here after 10 minutes, holding back so I don't leave any craters, and if I wanted to I could have used my lightning manipulation to teleport back in the bus with Aizawa, but I wanted to know what Pixie Bob had in store for you, replied I. They just sat there, shocked by the information I just delivered them. He wasn't even shocked when Aizawa arrived. "Huh, figures you're already here. Huh, problem, student teacher," Aizawa responded. "Wait, you're not SUPRISED, he's here, Aizawa," Tiger said. "Well, yeah, he wasn't wearing his weights, and he's put himself through hell for training, so honestly I'm not surprised," replied Aizawa. At that moment, Mandalay, Pixie Bob, and that one child show up. "Who's the kid?" Mandalay inquired right away. "One of their classmates," was the response from Aizawa. Both of them respond, "What, hey, problem, student teacher, how long did it take you?" replied Aizawa. 10 minutes. I took out 1/5 monsters I saw, so it took me just a couple of minutes longer, plus I didn't want to make any craters," said I. Pixie Bob and Mandalay begin, "But ho, that's too long. What's the reason it didn't take you 8 minutes if not 5, replied Aizawa. "I wanted to have some fun. I gave the class a little boost so I wouldn't be surprised if they arrive in a couple of hours. Oh yeah, and I just wanted to go for a stroll. I wasn't really pushing myself. I figured you had more on you for today, right?" I replied. "Ah, so that's why. And no, today all the pussycats planned was this. I told them to plan more, we were gonna need it," replied he. The 4 pussycats simply had their jaws on the ground following that exchange. And they were wondering if they were human. The child, meanwhile, seemed indifferent and curious as to why they weren't moving on. I said, "You gonna say something or keep your jaws on the floor?" After a few awkward seconds. Pixie Bob questioned, What kind of monster are you?" "Ah, well, I'm the kind that trains myself till I drop, then do even more, every day." I thought I was quirkless at one point, so I trained myself to the point where I could lie and say I have an enhancement quirk for strength and speed, replied I. Mandalay questioned, are you even human after putting yourself through that? I guess. Just kidding, yeah, of course I am, I replied. What a waste of time. Why can't we just go inside? Asked the child who had been waiting there the entire time. Hey kid, tell me about yourself, I say as I approach him. Yeah, he shouted, punching me in the balls, don't come near me because I don't want to know you. Additionally, you foolish heroes don't mean anything to me, so stop acting like a friend, he continued. I turn to the pussycats and say, okay fine, I won't interfere. So where do we drop our stuff off? I ask. Come with me. Pixie Bob said, in the interim, Momo Pav. After we discovered how weak the monsters were, I walked up to the first one and all I had to do was punch it, and it broke. Since then, Iida, Bakugo, Yagi, and Todoroki have led the charge through the forest, and we've probably made it through 1/4 of the place, which is probably about 20 miles, and they've already made it 5 miles. We've been going through here for about 15 to 20 minutes. Bakugo and Todoroki's team are around 60 yards behind us, and if we want to complete this correctly, we'll need to assist them. My team and Iida's team are in front, with Yagi not long behind. I said, cannon quadruple shot, before Bakugo and Todoroki could break the monsters. Bakugo declares, I didn't need the help extra. Yeah, and I'm dead. Bakugo, just know I'll help if you all fall too far behind. Besides, it is already 12 o'clock, we've been gone for 30 minutes. Izuku's probably already there eating or something while we're struggling, so for once in your life swallow your pride and let's go, I responded with some annoyance. TCH, as if I said shut up, after 45 minutes of keeping Bakugo quiet and assisting the others with Iida, I would say that we were done quite early. Hold on, where is everybody? Kaminari uttered. Eating, was the unexpected response. Who's tea there? I said. The voice continued, Mo, you don't even recognize my voice. When I saw it was Izuku, I said, phew, I thought it was a villain. Boo, maybe it is. Izuku shouted the words behind me. I yelled, oh my god, I'm dead. That was hilarious. Zuzu said, giggling uncontrollably. Punch. Zuzu pouted. What was that for? For scaring me. Now come here, I said. I kissed him and interrupted, woman, you just punched me. I don't know IHMPH. I answered, come on, you know you love me. That was his response. Touché. After that, Zuzu vanished and then resurfaced with Aizawa and the Pussycat crew. Man, problem student teacher, you shouldn't have given them the boost, they've only been gone for 1 hour and 15 minutes, Aizawa said. Be quiet Shota, you know you like your students. Now Tiger, Pixie Bob, Ragdoll, and Mandalay, who's piqued your interest, Zuzu said. Saying, Momo Yaoyorozu, Ragdoll. Tiger said, Tenya Iida. Izumi Yagi, stated Mandalay. According to Pixie Bob, Shoto Todoroki. Tiger remarked, stop your fantasies, Pixie Bob. Fine. We both know that Class 1B won't arrive for another 3 hours, so let's go let them eat and unpack now, Shota. Oh, and I'll cook for class, Zuzu uttered. Izuku's perspective, since their training is going well, I honestly assumed Tenya and Momo would take an additional 5 to 10 minutes. Now, go unpack Shota her. Remember to call me Shota and we will possess issues, Shota uttered. Fine, like I was saying, raise her head. Here clearly Wink wants some peace and quiet, so go and unpack while I make your guys lunch, I said. Problem student teacher, why did you say my name as that? Shota responded. I started to say, I don't know, maybe because you won't let me call you Shoham, but his catch scarf stopped me. We, as I mentioned, will possess difficulties, he said. Fine, but don't count on me not calling you that when we're in the teacher's lounge at school when we're teaching, I respond. As he said, great eye roll, another problem. Yes, without a doubt, I answered. After that, the students gathered their belongings and began unpacking. Almost 20 minutes later, they began to arrive one by one. I decided to prepare some of Naruto's favorite ramen for the class since I thought it would fit the current mood. Within 5 minutes, everyone in the class was requesting seconds. Chill out, you're worse than Naruto, I replied. Mina questioned, Naruto, who's that? Tenya answers, one of Lunar Sensei's teachers. I told you to call me Izuku when I'm not instructing you, so come on, Iida. I added, don't think I didn't see you using that to climb up and kick some enemies as well as burn them. In addition, we are friends. All right, he said. No need to sound disappointed, I respond. Kaminari cut in. What's going on here? I'm lost. It was funny and just what we needed to know was not alone, and it made Momo, Iida, and I all start laughing. Of course, the class moron would pull that out. What's so amusing? Not manly, bro, Kirishima answered. Sorry Ejiro, but to us it's hilarious. Anyways, it goes along with what I said before you guys started the exercise, so right now I can't tell you, I said. Okay. Anyways, are we gonna get seconds, or is that off the table? Izumi responded. I answered, yeah, I'm making seconds, don't worry. Yay, the entire class exclaimed. I got Kirishima aside after the entire class was over, explained that it was related to his quirk, and came up with a plan to strengthen it. Kirishima said, okay, so what do I do, as soon as we were outdoors? Alright, so you recall a few weeks ago when I told you what Iida's power could accomplish? I inquired. Yeah, I was surprised he could just walk up a wall and stand on water and stuff. That was some many stuff, said he. Alright, so this is out of context and there isn't a right or wrong response, but let's say you and a few other professionals are assisting in stopping a robbery when you witness a man forcibly taking a woman and you are the only one who witnessed it. If you prevent the robbery, you might gain some further notoriety for putting an end to the crime, but the woman is raped. Or, if you save the woman, she is not raped, but you receive no recognition or credit for anything, and the other thieves are apprehended. Which would you prefer? I said, remember that there is no right or wrong response. Kirishima answers, well, the woman, duh. I mean, that's what a true hero would do. Okay, now hold out your hand, I said. All right? He stuck out his hand in confusion and said, you sense that? I was able to activate your powers, which is one of my powers. I answered, you are one lucky guy. You have an equal affinity for earth and wind. Hello, bro, he uttered. Yes, it is cool, but keeps your wind on the down low, and if anyone asks about your earth, say you awakened your quirk and one of its properties is earth manipulation, I inquire. Okay, but how can I go about it? He inquires. Well, I'll be training you with Iida when we return home. You'll study with him for a while, but I'll teach you the fundamentals first because you're now falling behind. Manly, was his reply. Now go back and act like nothing happened. If I see you accidentally using your chakra, I may have to intervene, but for now I doubt that will happen, I replied. Yes, but who else knows, bro? He inquired. My girlfriend Momo knows the basics about what chakra is but doesn't use it. She uses another part of my quirk, and Tenya knows about chakra. If you ever need help, ask him with the basics. However, wait till after we go back, I respond. He said, all right, bye dude, and walked away. I followed him inside and fell asleep after a few minutes. Skip forward to 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. Weak, I said in a low voice. Pant, what do you mean pant? Weak pant, Mo said. I said, that training wasn't even a 0.25 out of 10 inches because I was bored. If pant you pant, say so, is her response, and she seems a little afraid of the instruction I got. Pixie Bob says, now class, you have to cook for yourselves. With all eyes on me, I begged, nope, I was told not to help. The child left at that moment to go somewhere, and I discovered yesterday that he despises heroes because of what happened to his parents, the Waterhose duo, and that he saw it as their abandonment. I followed him surreptitiously to find out what was going on, and he eventually stopped at a small cave and simply sat there, emotionless. So, Kota, right, mind telling me what's up? I said. He answered, go away, I hate your kind. Oh, don't worry, I hate some heroes too, I replied. So why are you attempting to become one? Whaaaaa. He uttered. Because I want to reshape the definition of hero to be one that does stuff for the community, I replied. So why do you despise heroes? He said, because my biological father All Might, and my biological mother Telik decided to neglect and let my ex-friends bully me when I was presumed quirkless, I replied. Sure, he inquired. Yes, before I fled. I was bullied for 10.5 years. During that time, I discovered my oddity, and I never looked back. I had had enough of the anguish, the suffering, the abuse, and everything else. I saved up some cash and simply ran, I remarked. Wow, but why are you telling me this? I mean, I don't even know you, and I just struck you in the balls, he uttered. Hey, kid, let it all out and don't worry. As I comforted him, I added, I know the Waterhose duo's death must have been painful, but if they hadn't stopped Muscular, there would have been countless others like you whose parents died from him right now. Just know they were true heroes and I'll do anything to help you see that. I just wanted to spend more time with my parents. Weeping, I'm really grateful, Mr. Kota says. Call me Izuku instead of Mr. I'm far from that. I wish I could have helped them, but I was away when they were attacked, and I know what you've been through is unfair, I added. I don't blame you, but I want to see them again just once more, Kota cried. I could do that, but it could make it worse and they won't be brought back to life. They'll just be like puppets, I replied. See can I, he said, still in tears. Are you certain? I remarked, it will make leaving more agonizing. But then, I'll get to say goodbye, he replied, wiping away his tears. Okay, I replied. Full clone jutsu, reanimation jutsu, I replied. What's happening to your clones' bodies, said he. They're being sacrificed to bring back your dead parents, replied I. Oh, okay. I walk behind them and insert a kunai that will allow them to express their emotions after a few minutes, when the two clones transform into the water hose duo with cuts all over their bodies. Asking, Mom, Dad, Kota, is that you, Kota? The water hose pair inquired. Yes, this is your son Kota. Let me introduce myself. My name is Izuku Lunar. I brought you here because Kota wanted to say his goodbyes since you both died nearly a year ago, I reply. Kota, we really apologize for not being powerful enough to defeat Muscular. Will you ever be able to forgive us? The mother said. I believe so, but why did you argue with him? He inquired. Because he was about to kill a woman and her husband in front of their 3-year-old boy, and when we saw that I had reminded us of you, so we stepped in thinking we could win and stop that murderer, but he was stronger than we thought and we lost, their dad explained. After a few minutes, Kota thanked me for what I had done and said farewell, and their parents thanked me twice before I let them go with 2 dead clones. I said, fire style. Fireball jutsu, expelling them from the world. Can I become a hero, Izuku? Kota inquired. You can become any hero you want, Kota, I said. I want to become an hero that can save others, like my mom and dad, Kota stated. What a fantastic dream. Know that I will always be cheering you on, I said. He remarked, thanks, Izuku, now why don't we go back? I'm sure the others are worried about us, I replied. Oh okay. Climb on, I murmured, gesturing behind me. Kota said, thank you, Izuku. You know that I'm always there if you need someone to chat to at any time? Why yay. Now, let's go, okay. He fell asleep on my shoulders as we were walking back, so I just walked slowly back to camp. Just as everyone was about to rush me, wondering where I was, I put them all under genjutsu, telling them that I had helped this kid and that they had better not wake up or else they would be training with me tomorrow and I would give them my undivided attention. They went back to their seats after they woke up, and they didn't say anything until I entered and was out of earshot. I called, hey, Shino, Mandalay, in an attempt to avoid waking Kota. How are you, Izuku? She answered. Where is his room? I inquired, gesturing to Kota. How? She inquired. What, how? I inquire, clearly perplexed. How do you get Kota to even talk to you, much less sleep on you? Not even our team gets enough trust from him to let us hold him, she murmured. Easy, I talked with him. I won't go into details, that's up to him, but let's just say that tomorrow he'll be training under me, I said. She opened her eyes instantly and was shaken. To put it mildly, he has detested heroes for almost a year, but I was able to change his perspective in just 20 minutes. Well, please let me know the location of his room so we may continue our conversation later, I said. Her words were, follow me. She led me to his room, which was plain and unadorned, with a few broken hero toys. I was depressed to see the condition he had been in over the past few years and knew he deserved better. I put him on his bed and tucked him in. Then I slowly walked away so as not to wake him. Man, I'm glad I stopped him before it got worse, I said quietly. Yeah, I was getting worried about his mental health, remarked Shino. Whoa, Shino, you scared me. Sorry, but seriously, you must have had to do something to make him open up. Yeah, I informed him about my past abuse and neglect at the hands of All Might, the #1 hero, and Telik, the current number 6. That's all I have to say, and I'm going to bed now. Good night, Shino. Night, Izuku. Morning time skip. How are you, Izuku? Kota shouted. How are you, Kota? I'm doing fine, I said. I'm sorry we couldn't talk more, but you fell asleep on me. Yeah, thanks for taking me home. Your lucky little man Dadzuku over here protected you from the mob of Class 1A, stated Mina. Dadzuku. Anyway, Mina, stop acting like you weren't a part of it too. If I remember right, you were the first person here wanting me to spill the tea, I responded. Ah, I'd like to know who this adorable person is, Mina swooned. I'm not cute, and I definitely don't want to get to know you guys, Kota objected. Hey, if you behave well, I'll help you train, I said, attempting to convince him. All right, he said. All right, class, this is Kota. This is Kota. This is class 1A. I continued. Oh, and he isn't the biggest fan of heroes and heroes in training. Please don't try to approach him because, word of warning, the last time I tried that I got a punch in no man's land. As soon as the class departed, it was just Kota and I waited for him to complete. The class quickly returned to breakfast and started preparing for some training. With a hint of blush, he asked, so Izuku can why you help me train? Obviously, what do you need my assistance with, then? I said. Well, I want some help with my quirk. It lets me use high-density water similar to my parents, he added. All right, of course, whenever you're prepared, I said. After a full day of training, Kota was able to produce some pretty solid blasts. It was pretty cool because, even at 6 years old, he was learning how to use his quirk, which most 10-year-olds had before training. He was able to produce some blasts that could blast through one of the trees with some effort, and I also wanted to see if he could make the water turn into an object. He was able to do so, but it took some work on his part. When he succeeded, I helped him transform it into a slingshot to escape danger or a balloon to drench anyone who attempted to attack him at school. Everyone was excited for the activity until, after training and dinner, everyone was talking about some sort of test of courage, or something that was a combined activity with Class 1B. It sounded interesting, so I was willing to give it a try. Kota, on the other hand, was heading to the mountain for more training and wanted to get away from everyone. Stop the test, Mandalay, and have the kids return. The love has arrived, I said. And how are you going to know that? Mandalay inquired. When I heard about the activity, I sent shadow clones out for patrol in case something happened and got the class disoriented, said I. Okay, she said. This is Mandalay. Mandalay was telepathically sent. All students should return to the facility right away since the League of Villains has arrived. I said, Mandalay, I'll be right back. I gotta get Kota, and sprang out of the crater I was in. I looked to get Kota, but Muscular leapt down and was going to punch him. Full cowling 100%, I leapt on a tree branch, obliterating the tree and the trees around it, and zoomed all the way to the hillside. Muscular spoke the words, "Die kid," with a sparkle in his eye. I smack, "Not if I can stop it," in response. "Hey, Shigaraki wants us to kill you, so I get to do that," he let forth a shout. Boom muscle was launched into the air, and I stood in a crater. "Goddamn kid, that was one hell of a punch. It looks like I'll have to go all out on you," stated he. I said, "But I won't, lightning style. Chidori blade," and then I grabbed and flung my sword. "Gah, fuck kid, why the hell does this hurt so much?" he exclaimed. "It's a downside to your quirk. The electricity causes your muscles to contract and overload them to break your muscle movement. I'm the worst opponent you could go up against here," I spat. "That stung, fuck," Muscular shouted as he withdrew the blade. "Are you certain you wish to continue fighting? May I ask?" "You're dead," he reacts by attempting to strike me. Naturally, I took his punch and threw him against the wall, using all of my natural strength to slam him into the wall and leave an 8-inch crater in its place. I then grabbed him, put on some quirk-canceling cuffs, and carried him over my shoulder to Mandalay's position, carrying Kota bridal style. "Hi, Mandalay." As soon as I saw them, I said, "I got Kota and Muscular." "Excellent. Why do you have a Muscular?" "Wait," she shouted. Since he attempted to murder Kota?" I answer. She questioned, "Okay, but how are you uninjured then?" "According to Aizawa, because he's stronger than him, and his worst nightmare literally, as he charges. However, he is an A-rank villain, and this kid could take out an SS-rank villain without using his quirk if he wanted to," replies Aizawa. "All well, but since we have to tend to Spinner and Magna here, I won't argue," Mandalay uttered. "What are you saying? Did I not already round them up?" I inquired. Glancing over, she exclaimed, "What kind of demon child are you?" she inquired. "Simplify, the person sent here to put an end to these evildoers," I replied. "I have to leave now because there are still at least 4 violins present." "Oh, and look after Kota, will you?" I said, leaping away. "Problem student teacher, just don't show off too much," he said. "No promises," is what I shout back. The perspective of Shota Aizawa. I mutter to myself, "Great, he's going to get himself killed." "What, then?" Kota replied, "We must stop him, please, mister." Stop him. That's all I have left. Oh, don't worry, he's not gonna die today. In fact, if he doesn't round up all the villains, I wouldn't be surprised, but one day if he keeps being this dumb and the show's off instead of ending things immediately, he's gonna get himself in serious trouble someday, Aizawa tells the child. Kota responded, oh okay, and then said, what's your name, Kota? I reply, the underground hero. Eraserhead. All right, will I get to meet Izuku once more, Mr. Eraserhead? Kota inquired. I responded, yes, you will, in the interim. Izuku's perspective. After a few seconds, I noticed Uraraka and Sue sprinting through the trees in an attempt to return, while I was still slowly jumping through them in search of any of my classmates. What's going on, Uraraka and Sue, may I ask? I don't know, there was this pink fog, then everyone who breathed it in started fainting, so me and Sue started running away, Uraraka remarked. I answered, thanks, and was ready to leave when I noticed that someone was observing. I said, wind style, wind bullet, and hurled a tiny projectile in the person's direction. Ooh, you noticed me, a blonde psychopath exclaimed. Yuck. Listen, crazy lady, you can run or you can be arrested like the other three. I stopped, I responded. Wow, you're strong, you stopped 3 of our men. Ooh, I want you, she said. Gag, yuck lady, look, I'm taken and now chop, good night, I replied. Sue said, thanks, Lunar Kiro. No problem, take her to Mandalay, I'm going after the others, I replied. I then began jumping back into the trees to begin hunting down more criminals, but after a few minutes of bouncing around, a massive slash in front of me broke the trees around me. Boom, the trees in front of me were destroyed by a shadow. As I lowered myself, I noticed Mazo staring at the beast from behind a tree. Mazo remarked, Lunar, that you, geez, I keep telling you guys to call me Izuku, but whatever, and yeah, who's this? I inquire. In response, Tokiyami, Mazo, okay, and why are you fighting Dark Shadow? I'm curious. We were attacked and I got hurt, then Tokiyami lost control. Okay, well, looks like you could use some help, right? Yeah. Well, I could try something with his light weakness, however, if it isn't enough light I'll be killed, I quietly reply. Okay. But why did you say it like that? Because Bakugo and Todoroki is the group ahead, I replied. So you want us to run while he chases us trying to kill us to have Todoroki and Bakugo take care of him? He laughed. Yup. I reply with excitement. His words, you are insane. I yelled as I ran, and you need help, now let's go. Mazo muttered, great, to himself. I shout like a child, hey, Dark Shadow over here, come on, let's play a game of tag. Dark Shadow replies, I'll show you for messing with me. With a, yay. Let's go, I answered. Mazo remarked, you sound like a little kid. That just makes it more fun. Now let's go. After some jogging, I came across Bakugo and Todoroki, who were a little startled by the dark shade. I leapt to my feet before Mazo could explain the problem. Hey Dark Shadow, I'm sorry for using you like this now, fire style, majestic destroyer flames, I said. Bakugo, Todoroki, and Mazo watched as a massive flame shot forward Tokiyami's Dark Shadow. When it was all gone, the black shadow vanished and a flawlessly fine Tokiyami was visible. Mazo's eyes were on me the moment they noticed he was okay. I inquired tremblingly, so, whatcha, need? So you can make a bigger flame than Todoroki, but yet you thought you should bring an unstable Tokiyami here for what? He inquired. I reply, to scare them. He inquired with a hint of annoyance, so you used Dark Shadow? Well, yeah, but y'all were way too tense, I needed some sort of comedic relief. It was completely justified and I already apologized to Dark Shadow, so forgive me Mazo, I beseech. He answered, okay, but only because you saved us. Thanks. Bakugo then screams, nerd, what the fuck are you doing here? Saving Tokiyami, and scaring you, why? I inquire. The fuck you thought that scared me? He yelled. Wheel, your face when you first saw Dark Shadow says otherwise Bakugo, I replied. According to Bakugo, yeah right. You didn't scare him, you terrified him. I think I saw a bit of piss come out, Todoroki stated. Ha. Todoroki wheeze, I didn't know you had a laughing sense of humor, I respond. I don't just look at his pants. I laughed after saying, oh shit, you right, that just makes it better. Bakugo yells and charges when he sees me laughing. Sure, but not today, I respond, bending over to avoid him. Point of view of Aizawa, 10 minutes ago, student-teacher senses are going off, which is my problem. Crash boom boom as I followed the troubled student-teacher, I noticed Dark Shadow was pursuing them. The tick marks are already starting to appear. I swear I'm going to kill that idiot who's attempting to pull a joke right now. Kota asked me, Mr. Eraserhead, is Izuku going to be okay? He's fine, he's trying to pull a prank right now, responded I. Crash. Izuku was the cause of the sudden, massive flames that engulfed Dark Shadow. I was aware. Goddamn knew that after I'm done with him, he will truly regret what he did. Izuku's perspective. I jumped off, saying, okay, that was fun, now I got to make sure the others are okay. A few minutes after we started to walk to the pink mist, I heard Mandalay send a message to Fumikage Tokiyami, stating that Katsuki Bakugo had been apprehended while attempting to locate them. I was fighting Dabi, as he called himself, a man named Compress who had the toga girl I left with Sue and Ochako, and Spinner, whom I defeated with Mandalay. I suppose something also happened over there. Then another image appears in my mind. Then I teleported by leaving my mark on the tree just before I vanished. Lightning style. Flying Rajan. I grin. I observed Todoroki and Aizawa attempting to capture them as soon as a gateway appeared behind them. I yelled at the Compress guy, you guys messed with the wrong camp. Wind style. Wind bullet. I leapt to get the balls when Compress dropped them. When I attempted to grab Bakugo, it struck my finger and bounced off, passing through the portal, but I was able to capture Fumikage's. When the baddies in the portal vanished, I was about to dash through. I screamed, angry with myself, Fuick, before sobbing. All I did was cry. I didn't even realize that Fumikage had picked me up with Dark Shadow and was returning me to camp. I spent minutes just sobbing at myself for being such a klutz. Everyone hurried outside as soon as we returned to the camp. Kirishima inquired, where's Bakubro? I sobbed as I murmured, I'm so sorry. Momo asked, what do you mean, Zuzu? Yay, Kota answered. Aizawa described how my clone vanished after being beaten but not before losing my mark. Then he described how I stopped them as they were ready to flee after I appeared, but I accidentally hid Bakugo through the portal rather than catching it. Slap saying, I deserved that. No, that was to get you out of your head, Momo said. I said, what do you mean? Look, does it look like anyone blames you? No one here does. We all know you tried your hardest. You tried so damn hard, not even when Shoto, nor Aizawa-sensei could do something. So stop, cause it's breaking me, cried Momo. Hoo-ha? I asked as I looked up and saw that everyone was attempting to embrace me. Bro, that was so manly. You rescued Tokiyami when the villains were escaping. You are one manly hero, remarked Kirishima. Come on Izuku, you told me you would try to protect as many people as you could and you tried so hard. This just means we need to find them and kick their asses, remarked Kota. Shino yelled angrily, who taught you that word, young man? Oh, it was said a whole lot by you and all these guys when they were facing villains, so I just guessed what it meant. As everyone began to laugh, Shino gave them all a death gaze, but when it didn't work, she simply burst out laughing. Now that is done, we need to go and rescue Bakugo, so pack up, problem children, we got a long few days ahead of us, remarked Aizawa. Aizawa, what about Class 1B? I responded. They're inside. Those who are conscious are helping the injured and unconscious, or helping their classmates pack up. The Class 1B students had to fight a villain with a knockout gas quirk like Midnight, but it was different than hers, Vlad King stated as he left the classroom. Okay. Skip ahead 2 days. I've been attempting to locate Bakugo for the past 2 days while hardly paying attention in class. If only he had been marked by me. In case something similar occurred again, I left my mark on every student except Bakugo the day after. I believe I have located their base, and I am currently cleaning the area where I have searched. When I looked into it, Momo's tracker turned out to be a Nomu facility. Izumi rushed in and said, we gotta talk, Oni-chan. What? I answer, a little irritated. Look, me, Momo, Kirishima, and Todoroki plan to visit the place Momo has a tracker on to see if they can get any clues, and we want you to come, Izumi said. I'm not coming, that is just a Nomu warehouse, I said. She questioned, how do you know that? I overlooked when Momo made the original tracker and investigated, I respond. When she says, okay then, half an hour later. As I enter Detective Tsukachi's office, I yell, I'm not stupid, let me in on the raid. He attempts to conceal, what raid? Look, I'm not dumb. Eraserhead hates the media. The only reason he would agree is if it would cover up to help out with something. And I know that the only thing that would be tempting enough is for a raid, I said. Look kid, you can't join the raid. You do, I said. I don't have this, indicating my licenses. He questioned, but you're a first year, how? Because I'm the infamous teacher student who got his provisional license and teaching license within the first week and a half of school. Izuku Lunar, I said. Fine, but you're on the backup squad, he replied. No, front lines, right now I'm stronger than All Might, especially since he's only using the scraps of one for all that he has, I replied. How do you know about that? He replied. Oh my god. I swear if I have to tell this to another person I'm gonna flip. My name was legally changed from Izuku Yagi to Izuku Lunar. I'm All Might's son, for God's sake. He said, oh, but he never told you. I overheard his talk with Izumi the first time he was gonna give OFA to her, I said. What do you mean the first time? He inquired. 13 months ago All Might started training her for OFA. 5 months later they found my note that told them about my neglect, abuse, and bullying, and that's why I ran away. It took them 5 months to find it, but when they did All Might stopped training her. Hearing how she bullied me, about a month and a half ago he gave OFA to her because I told All Might to do so, since I would never take something that would give him a cheat to coming back into my life and that he had to earn it like Izumi. He passed the memo and added, all right, you'll be with All Might, just go, and we're meeting at this bar in 45 minutes for the raid. Thank you, now I'll be taking my leave. It was Detective Tsukachi who stated, you've got some explaining to Shinori Yagi, after I had departed. I used the train to get there the long way. After my brief talk, 30 minutes later, Izumi and the group were there, masked and all. They were most likely going to look into it. When I realized I was missing my suit, I put it on and flew around as if I was on patrol. Kamui Woods exclaimed, hey, you. I answered, what's up, you? Been a while, Izuku. I thought you said you weren't doing hero work till you graduate, answered Kamui. I flew just beside him and said, well, Shinji, I'll be joining the front lines of the raid with you. Knowing that I wasn't on the roster, he said, what raid? Dude, come on, you didn't think I wouldn't find out there? Making Eraserhead talk to the media. Also, I had a little talk with Detective Tsukachi 30 minutes ago. That's why you didn't see me on the roster, answered I. Figures. I tried to tell him you'd figure it out. So why do you want to come so bad? He inquired. Because if I closed my hand a split second later he wouldn't have been kidnapped, responded I. Happens to the best of us. Well, we should get going, Shinji replied. Yeah, let's go. By the way, you can just ride on my leg or something so you don't take too long, I said. Nah, I'm good. By the way, I didn't think flying was part of your quirk, Shinji replied. It isn't. This is my own support gear made by me, designed by Tony Stark, I said. Wait, so you're flying with just support gear? Yup. Can I get one of those? Do you want your heart ripped out unprofessionally? What? Y'all, if you want this power source you're gonna need one pretty grave injury that ends with your heart being removed, but it has to be removed unprofessionally. Never mind then. Yeah, what kind of hell did you go through to make you need that? Well, actually that was the old version. This one is just permanently stuck like a tattoo. However, I have no idea how to build it. That was made by Tony before he went away, so I can't give you this one, or build this one. Okay, makes sense, I guess. So where is this Tony guy now? Dead of old age. Oh, I'm sorry, it's fine, but we should really get going. We have 5 minutes. Okay. We arrived after 3 minutes, and I approached the door to briefly remove my suit. Knock knock twice. Who's there? Was replied. I replied, pizza delivery for Tamura Shigaraki. There were 2 instances of pizza. Who ordered it? Crash. When the other heroes noticed that they had let their guard down, they broke in. When that occurred, I put on my costume, grabbed Bakugo, and took off. I didn't need your help extra. I put on my mask and said, oh shut up Kachan, so he could identify me. Deku, was his reply, and he continued, this is even worse, before launching some bombs to escape. I turned around and said, well, if you're okay, I'm going back to the fight now. He said, I'm coming too, as he followed me. Sure, then you can get arrested, and have a possible expulsion from UA, replied I. But you're going, I said, I'm licensed, you're not. Saying, fine, he left for home. I observed Small Might fighting a villain on the battlefield. His arm was large, but he was steaming for some reason. Hold on, someone woke up his nodes for Nen. The villain was using Nen, and he wasn't doing it badly either. When I searched for the solution, he was using it similarly to how I did in my 3rd year, but he was obviously a conjurer because he was creating objects to block and attacking with oddities. Damn you all. For one, All Might snarled as a last blow. All Might was unable to employ his quirk after recovering from some harm. Fuck. 5 days later, time jump. Reporter. The hero of number 1. All Might is no longer active as a hero. following the significant event against the top villain. All for One, All Might's hero career came to an end and his civilian form was made public. 5 days ago. Izuku's perspective. Hey shithead, where'd you get the nen? I responded. All for One grinned and said, another weakling wants to play? I'll show you the power of my quirks. Full cowling 100% strength, if you want to survive All for One you will answer my question, I replied. According to All for One, like I'm scared of you. Really now? Well guess what one punch to the ground from my current strength could level half of Tokyo, so what do you think one kick would do to your face? I respond. Huh, with this new power that I got from the Nomu from the incident I can beat you WI. I kicked him in the jaw and said, shouldn't have told me how you got my power. Absolute devastation, planetary devastation, I responded. Rocks immediately began to cover All for One after I said those words. I continued till it reached meteorite size. MMMMPHHHHHHH was a single shout. When the boulders began to crack, I turned to see All for One erupting, using a drill and many quirks to strengthen his arms. Fucking hell, of course, he had to be a conjurer, I replied. Haha, nice try kid, you actually can stand up to me, now this will be fun. Wind style. Wind bullet, go back in your cell bitch. Fuck, he has a regen quirk. Why the devil is his jaw if his face is still missing? I'm going to have to go all out, it seems. Susanoo. Kamui shuriken, let's take this somewhere else, I said. I then located All for One after warping to my time-space. He leapt in and touched my Susanoo as soon as I stepped inside. Bitch, you can't handle this. It's not a quirk, and I have to voluntarily activate yours, unlike Nen. You were defeated. Gimme your quirk, shouted the AFO. I said, nah, kick take you to Tartarus, yes. I am the Mose, stated the AFO. Nope, there is always someone more powerful, someone who can always beat you, and for you, that person is me. Now Susanoo flame control, sword strike, I said. I will end you, declares AFO. No, you won't, goodbye, All for One. Nen closure, I said. I discovered on my own that if I struck someone's nodes appropriately, I could permanently close them. It was too near. I need to use my Nen much more carefully because if I don't, I'll expose it to the world, which would lead to a greater fall from grace for humanity because individuals with more powerful abilities than quirks would be fucked everywhere. I'll begin fighting with chakra and resort to Nen only as a last resort. I'm sorry for my doubts, God. I then approached All Might, my ex-parent. Given that I'm still a little hurt, it took me a few seconds. Hey, Toshinori, you alive in there? I inquire. He questioned feebly, young lunar. What grunt happened to All for One? I begin, don't worry, I took care of him, and then I lift him up. Let's take you to the hospital so you can be examined. According to him, grunt all right young lunar. Call me Izuku, you earned it. Tell you what, once you're all patched up you can come over to my place for dinner, however, I will ask you all to be in blindfolds so you don't show up every other day causing paranoia. One day though I'll show you an Inko where I live when I can trust that I won't be attacked to come home every day, Toshinori, I replied. Toshinori remarked, thank you, son, that sounds splendid. Look, you're not quite there yet, you can call me Izuku but I'm still not ready to be called son yet, but I'll let that one slide because you held AFO off for long enough, okay? Okay Izuku, was his response. I then carried him to the hospital while hunching All Might over my shoulders. Even though you may have been a bad father to me, you showed that you loved Izumi unconditionally. You are a real hero, All Might, for having made the nation your second family. Skip ahead 2 hours. When I arrive at the dorms, I shout, Mo, I'm back. IZUUUUUU, Momo said as she hurried down the steps. Lunar bro, that was sick. You took down a villain All Might couldn't, remarked Kirishima. How's dad? Inquired Izumi. It's your turn, Izumi, he's done. And Kirishima, he was stronger than All Might because he got leaked the power I used at the USJ. I took it away so he doesn't escape prison, but still I have a feeling we won't be seeing him again, I said. Izu, what do you mean it's Izumi's turn? Momo said. Izumi nodded when I glanced at her. It's my turn with one for all, my dad's quirk, she continued. Everyone in the class exclaimed, huh? You have his quirk? But I thought yours was telekinesis with a weakish enhancement quirk to add to it? Uraraka responded. That's her quirk, Toshinori was born quirkless. The quirk he used was passed down to him by a woman named Nana Shimura. All Might is the 8th user, Izumi is the 9th, the first was All for One's brother who we don't know much of. We don't really have info on the 1st through 3rd users, and there is very little info on the 4th and 6th. There's a bit of info on the 5th and Nanashimura, but basically One for All is a power passed down through generations to combat All for One. That's the gist of it. However, Izumi, you're going to need to tell the world by my calculations, you say. Before people begin asking questions, Izumi interrupts, wait, why would I need to tell the world? Can't I just say it's me training the enhancer quirk? Because by my calculations the One for All quirk core is big enough so you may find yourself using the other users' quirks, meaning you could end up with 6 more quirks. But One for All doesn't take a person's quirk when it's given away. Because One for All copies it into itself, and that's why when you first get it your original quirk seems to act up. Whoa. Izu, we're all so confused here, and how do you know? Because my birth name is Izuku Yagi and I overheard when All Might or Toshinori wanted to give Izumi his quirk. I respond. Ribbit, so how do you know she will get the other quirks? Replied Sue. Because Sue, I studied One for All in the background for a while now, and I've heard how sometimes All Might would see shadows of the previous users of OFA. So I'm guessing that means that they were copied into OFA during the time period that their quirk acts up, or for a quirkless user like All Might during the first uses of OFA. I respond. They all half mumbled, okay. You know what, go ask Toshinori with your questions. I'm tired and need to go to bed. Mo, wanna go out for a date tomorrow? I inquire. Sure, she said. Great, now I'm going to bed. See you tomorrow. And one last thing, this discussion does not leave this building. It's highly classified, and if the teachers find you guys talking about it you will most likely be taken to prison. Just a warning, winking face, I reply and leave the room. They all shout at me, what, why didn't you tell us that from the start? I say, 'cause I didn't. Good night, as I stroll. I take off my shoes and climb into bed as soon as I enter my dorm. What a hassle tomorrow, there will be a ton of questions in the lesson. I heard the door open just as I was ready to close my eyes. Who is it? I ask, half slumbering. Quietness. I say, okay, and then feel a sensation inside of me. I saw Momo cuddling up beside me. I believe I'm going to die of cuteness overload because this is so wonderful, my god. I inquire, Mo, what's up? I want snuggles. You really scared me back there when you were fighting that All for One guy that All Might couldn't beat. I'm here, I say, drawing her nearer. I swear, I won't ever abandon you. I'll take you up on that one now. You and me are going to sleep here tonight and no one is stopping us, whispered the woman. I sit up a little and say, all right, but let me shut the door and don't worry, I won't get out of bed. Wind style. Weak wind bullet. Whispering, good night Izu. Mo in response, good night Mo. I notice that Momo has moved from cuddling side by side to lying on top of me when I try to get out of bed because I feel like there's a weight on my chest. In a whisper, morning princess, she mumbles, 5 more minutes, Izu. Come on Mo, I chide, let's get up, it's 7 a.m. She responds, but you have the best pillows. Momo, you're not on any pillows. She utters the embarrassed words, what are you talking while? I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I respond, blushing, it's okay, you were the best blanket I could have asked for, so we're even. Okay, we're doing this again tonight. That was the best sleep I've ever had, Momo said. You know what, I'm tired, let's go back to sleep. We don't have school today anyway, I respond. But it's Friday. She says, you know what, I don't care, you're too comfy. We slept for 2 more hours before deciding to wake up and prepare for the day. When we're taking a shower, Kaminari exclaims, dude, tell me your ways. 1. Stop perving. 2. Go get Jiru, dude, you can do it. 3. When she's comfortable with cuddling while sleeping it will happen and that's all you need to do, I respond. According to Kaminari, I will wait. How did you know I liked Jiru? It's obvious during the start of school you would slightly pervy tendencies to all our classmates, however now it's all directed towards Jiru. You even look all the other girls in the eyes at all times during conversations, I respond. I'm that obvious? Yeah, but don't worry, Jiru, whether she admits it or not, is a big tsundere for you. Thanks, man. Just make sure to pull out all the stops. She is a tsundere, you're going to have to impress her first. Will do? I teasingly say, oh, and use protection. He answers, what? I did indeed break him. Get your girl, Denki, now. Jiru's perspective. I heard Kaminari ask Izuku to teach him his methods while I was enjoying a good shower. In order to determine whether I need to kill that idiot, I then connect my headphone jack into the wall and listen to their chat. When Izuku advises, first, stop perving, of course. Izuku says, 2, go get Jiru, you can do it, mildly. What? 3. When she's comfortable with cuddling while sleeping it will happen and that's all you need to do. Is he aware of my little affection for the idiot? I'm not that obvious, no way. I will. Wait, how did you know I liked Juru? Yes, he was referring to Denki, but what? How come he would like me? It's obvious during the start of school you would slightly pervy tendencies to all our classmates, however now it's all directed towards Juru. You even look all the other girls in the eyes at all times during conversations. Izuku responds. He does what? How could I have missed it? Denki asks, I'm that obvious? Yeah, but don't worry, Juru, whether she admits it or not is a big tsunere for you, Izuku chuckles. How did he find out? I'm going to kill that jerk. Momo is the only person I've ever told, and I've never made it clear. With excitement, Denki exclaims, thanks, man. He's probably simply hyping him up, and I doubt he realizes it. Momo asks, Juru, how are you doing? I'm doing all right. What's up with you? I heard you got your man last night. Momo answered, yeah, his chest is the best pillows. I taunt, so how big is he? Momo screaming, WW what? Juru, we didn't do that. I did indeed break her. Ha ha ha. Izuku shouts for me to hear without my jacks. Hey Jirou, I know you can hear me, good job breaking my girlfriend. Boys, ahem, so Juru, when do you plan to confess to Denki? She stammered, WW8H, how did you KK know? I'm your best friend, you think I wouldn't notice the subtle differences with you? Replied Momo. He knows this because Momo told him. So you told Lunar, huh? I respond. She responds, no, I never told him. Why? Cut the act. One heard him yesterday to hype him up to ask me out and that I had a crush on him. You're the only one that could figure it out. Actually, Juru, it was obvious. I could see your slight blush every time he talked about you, Izuku asserts. You pervert, you're not supposed to be in here, I scream. He responds, I'm not outside so I can get the tea. Azu, go away, it's girl talk. The words, don't think I didn't know that you were listening on our boy talk, Juru, are loud enough for me to hear, but not Momo. Fantastic. Then he goes down the stairs. Good, he can no longer make me feel ashamed. A moment later, he realized how many people knew. Momo responds, all the girls, Izu, and Blasty. I said that out loud? Yup, after 4 days. Izuku's perspective. All Might said he was retiring yesterday since he was getting too weak to use his quirk. The true reason is, of course, that he gave it to Izumi, but nobody is aware of this. His retirement and my quest to discover my identity have been widely reported in the media. It wasn't vigilantism, the police claimed, because I had a license, which I did, but only I could reveal who I really was. Everything about me and my objectives is widely available online. Later today, I intend to share with the public my true motivation for stepping out, despite my earlier declarations that I wouldn't. Half an hour later, helicopters, the news organization, was all around me. At the moment, I was using my Iron Man outfit, which Mr. Stark had assisted me in creating, to hover over Musutafu, Japan. I declare, I am awakening, removing my mask in midair. As the Iron Man declared, I am awakening, he actually did it, then. Breaking news. New hero dubbed. Awakening is none other than a first year in UA known as Izuku Lunar. This kid seems to be an unstoppable force of nature, but I gotta wonder who built that suit. In his quirk file, it says he can't fly, meaning his support gear alone is making him fly. This kid and his manufacturer are one for the history books. We'll be right back after the short break, the newscaster stated. Uraraka remarked, I wonder who made Lunar's suit. I say to her, Izu built it. What? Replied Kaminari, so he's got a quirk that is op as fuck. He is the smartest kid in our school, and he is a mad support genius? What can't he do? Stay out of the fight, I'm saying. Chokes on water PFFFT, you hit the nail on the head, Momo, Juru chuckled. Izu said, you know I heard that pout, as he entered. Izuku wheeze bro, give her credit man, you got told there, stated Kirishima. Actually I can, but not for that fight against AFO because he took one of my awakening skills making him even stronger than having any quirk, I replied. Huh? Kaminari asked bewilderedly. You remember Ida and Momo's display during the trap pull during the first day of camp? Yeah. Good. He got the thing I gave Momo, I say. What, he had that Izu, then why couldn't I see it? I shouted. When I instructed her to use Gia and rewatch the fight. I said, K? As I left for my dorm. I began using Gia to watch the replay. First, nothing looked unusual, but then I noticed that All for One was utilizing Nen. They began battling as soon as Izuku appeared on the field. AFO was using Nen, and he was using the chakra thing. That explains why he was so anxious. Izuku's perspective asking, "Hey Izuku, what's Gia, Uraraka? You'll know when I tell you my secrets. For now, Todoroki, I want to ask you, why do you want to be a hero? So I can rename the Todorokis and get rid of Endeavor for abusing us. I want to be a hero who stands up for what's right and prove that I'm not just some creation," Todoroki stated. Now that he wasn't lying, what should I tell him? Is it chakra or nen? Good answer. Will you come with me? I say. I'll demonstrate to him how to use ice and fire to control elements, which will help nen. I guess, he said. Good, I said as I approached him and took his hand. What are you doing? Teleporting. Lightning style. Flying Rajan, I write. By the time I finished, we appeared to be in the middle of nowhere. Todoroki inquired in his monotone voice, "Where are we?" "An island that isn't on any map," I respond. He said, "Okay. Why are we here?" Slap. Ow, what the hell, Lunar? Looks at himself. Why am I steaming? He responded. You have been granted the power of Nen. AKA the thing Mo was using, I responded. He said, "Okay, but why did you slap me?" "In order to open all the nodes I had to hit you hard enough to jar them open but weak enough to not injure you," I respond. Now I want you to imagine the steam surrounding you like a lazy river, peaceful and calm. Todoroki closes his eyes and understands it in a matter of seconds. I say, "Okay, open your eyes," he asks. "Whoa, now what?" "I'll train you later, but now imagine the force going back inside you," I say. "Okay, but will I be able to do it again?" he responded. One thing about Nen, you can never forget the basic use of Ten, so no you won't. Todoroki closed his eyes and ceased using Nen after receiving the assurance. After he realized what I was saying, that his life energy was being used excessively, I teleported him back. Mina said, "Sue, where'd you guys go?" "An island I created." "Why?" I replied. As Todoroki put it, "Wait, what, you made that island?" "Yup, now I'm going to check on Mo. See you later guys," I replied. Time-lapse of the second semester. I helped Eijiro, Tenya, Shoto, Izumi, and Momo develop their skills during the course of the following semester. A few weeks into the second semester, Wana took their provisional license exam, and Bakugo was the only one who failed. He lost points for being too brazen and incooperative in the second part, but he is now enrolled in remedial classes that were made available to those who failed the second part, and if they pass, they will receive their license without having to retake the test. After mastering his fire style, Tenya discovered that he could also employ a weak wind style, so he started studying the wind style on his own. He has grown stronger over the last semester, so I called him a Jonin. He rapidly gained the mental and spiritual strength of the majority of elite Jonin via his unwavering dedication to his studies and hard labor. He could easily rank among the top 15 heroes right now if he worked in tandem with his quirk, but it's his quirk that's suffering, so I urged him to focus solely on strengthening it over the past month, since that's the quickest way to get stronger for someone like him. Momo has developed into a formidable conjurer, using her talent to create Nen monsters and weapons with too many components to use her quirk efficiently. She is now the most balanced of the four in terms of both talent and quirk. Her ability to transition between the two allows her to rank among the top 5 heroes if she so chooses, but she still has mental health issues, and despite my best efforts to boost her self-esteem, she feels worthless if she can't achieve the desired outcome in a single day. To ensure that his unbreakable form could be maintained for longer than 3 minutes, Kirishima trained his quirk more than his chakra. His defensive skills improved significantly throughout this semester, and he was able to repel Bakugo's attacks for over half an hour. However, he has only learnt the fundamentals, such as how to sprint or walk on water, climb a tree, and use the transformation jutsu, clone jutsu, and mud wall for his earth style. I had him focus only on chakra during his last month, and he discovered that he possessed the lava-style Kekkei Genkei. He didn't have many new jutsu, and he could perform much better in the chakra area, but he was doing incredibly well overall, perhaps reaching a new Chunin level for chakra ability. Although it appeared to be related to Endeavor, I persuaded Shoto to use his fire side. After I witnessed what he had done to him, I had a brief talk with him and made sure he released their mother, Rei. I've heard that Endeavor has begun to humble himself and seek to learn from his family in an effort to start the process of atonement. They haven't totally embraced him yet, and I doubt they will anytime soon, but they are gradually beginning to trust him once more. Shoto has come a long way since discovering that he was a manipulator. On the battlefield, he has mastered the art of manipulating anything, which he refers to as nature manipulation. He still has a long way to go in terms of his peculiarity, but he has mastered the art of controlling his fire and is making steady progress in every way. After speaking with Shoto, Izumi was the last person I spoke with. She appears to have a great affinity for wind and water, as well as a slight affinity for fire, according to the chakra talents I taught her. Izumi doesn't exhibit the makings of a natural Kekkei Genkei, just like me. She picked things up quickly, but her time was more divided than she had anticipated because she was also working with OFA. She puts in extra hours to hone her chakra skills, and she's now on par with a top chunin. She also had such precise chakra control after I taught her Tsunade's strength. Although I couldn't properly teach her medical ninjutsu, she accepted the few scrolls one had. She has the capacity to mend large wounds and little muscle tears, but she finds it difficult to learn how to mend fractured bones and large muscle rips. She is already proficient in a few A-rank tough water styles, such as Justice, and can do her hand signals at a speed comparable to Tenya's. Her wind control appears to be comparable to that of a chunin, whose only affinity is wind. She can only perform fireball jutsu, though, because she practices medical ninjutsu. Her strength and skill are comparable to Momo's, although she has advanced before completely mastering the move, much like Boruto did with his Rasengan when he was younger, due to repeated overtraining. I explained that Kota took up Nen, while Juru and Kaminari took up chakra for the remainder of the lesson. Since I informed them all quite late, they are still practicing the fundamentals. Juru is struggling with the water walking portion, and Kaminari has not yet demonstrated mastery of the transformation. Following the provisional license, Kaminari asked Juru out, and the two have been assisting one another with the aspects they are unable to master. Kota is also making steady progress. He recently perfected Zetsu and is beginning to work on Ren. This semester, Momo and I have grown even closer and a little more intimate. We haven't done anything more than me reaching for her breasts when she is wearing a bra and her massaging my abs. In order to be content with where we are right now, we both want to go slowly. When she asked me yesterday who I didn't believe would learn any of my skills, I said that Bakugo, Uraraka, and Shiro all wanted money, even if Uraraka's motivation was somewhat admirable. Aoyama doesn't seem interested in attempting to be a top hero. Instead, he seems content to be an average hero or sidekick, therefore I don't think he will get the bump either. However, I warned her that things might change over the course of the next 2 years. Our first year is coming to an end tomorrow, but I still intend to inform the soon-to-be ex-Big Three Amina, Mizo, Fumikage, and Mashirao. If the other four will attempt to be true heroes, I hope to teach Toru, Su, and Rikido next year. If not, I'll go on to Class 1B. Mashirao Nen, Tamaki, and Fumikage are the ones I intend to instruct, and the others I intend to inform about chakra. The second semester's last day Mirio contacted and said, Night Eye's agency needed Lunar. Okay Mirio, come here, I'll teleport us there, I say. Okay. I grab Mirio's shoulder and transfer the two of us there as soon as he arrives. After leaving the house, we enter Night Eye's agency and proceed to his office. I say, hello sir, as I enter. I chose to join Night Eye's agency under the work studies program because, legally, I'm still a student and cannot work for my own agency just yet. I know today is your last day of school, so I'll make this short. Tomorrow we are finally raiding the Yakuza base that we have been researching for the past month and a half. Also, we found that they are using a human's DNA for the quirk erasing bullets, he continues. That's horrific, using a human for the bullets. Revolting. When should we meet tomorrow? I inquire. 7 a.m. tomorrow. We will begin the raid at 10 a.m. and go over the mission with some other agencies from 7 o'clock to 9:30, replied Night Eye. All right, sir. Also, I'm officially your sidekick tomorrow, responded Mirio. Yes, I know Mirio, and I can't wait for you to join our ranks. Now get back to school and enjoy your last day. I will see you tomorrow, responded Night Eye. After we said, okay, goodbye sir, and have a good day, I teleported us back to the school. Hey, Mirio, would you be willing to meet me after school today? Oh, and bring Najire and Tamaki, I stated prior to departing. Sure. See you then. Where will we meet? Besides, I don't want to miss my chance to hang out with the unofficial #1 hero, answers Mirio. At the front entrance, I'll be bringing 4 people with me as well, I say. His response is, see you then. The remainder of the day passed without incident. In fact, the speed at which this year was coming to a conclusion was insane. After completing the remedial classes, Bakugo was granted a provisional license. Thanks to those courses, he has somewhat calmed down. He is still easily agitated, but his ego isn't as large, and it's wonderful to observe that he treats citizens with kindness. Mina, Fumikage, Mizo, and Mashirao, will you come with me? I said after the last lesson. Sure, is their collective response. Okay, meet me at the front entrance when you're all done catching up, I respond. I then make a shadow clone for the people learning chakra and teach Nen to the people learning Nen as I make my way out to the front entrance. After waiting for a few minutes, I finally spot the now former Big Three, with my students following closely behind. Hey, guys, okay. Will Najire, Mirio, Mina, and Mazo go to my shadow clone over there? Points to his shadow clone, and the other three come with me, that way we can teleport faster, I ask. Okay, is their response, but Tamaki, who is bashful with my classmates, doesn't. After saying, lightning style, flying Rajan, I transfer everyone to my backyard. Mina queries, where are we? My backyard, I utter. You're rich? Inquired Mirio. Yes, now those who came with my shadow clone follow my shadow clone, and those who came with me follow me. It's time I tell you a secret, I say. My party follows me to the location where I began training Momo. When we arrive, Kota is honing his skills while Momo and Shoto are sparring using only their Nen powers. WWW, what are TT they DD doing? That's N not a P part O of their QQ quirk, Tamaki mumbles. That is what I'll be teaching you. Truth be told, I only have a healing quirk, however I labeled it as an energy release, I declare. Mashirao inquires, so then what is that? That is Nen, it's the use of life energy that gives you power. However, in all likelihood, Fumikage will be doing something similar to Shoto, while Tamaki will probably be like Momo or will be an emitter, while you Mashirao will probably be like me, an enhancer. I know none of that makes sense, so let me explain in detail about Nen. I respond. I then shared with them the section of the narrative when I learned about Nen and how each individual is different. I then give them all a slap to wake up their Nen, instruct them to access 10, turn it off, and start teaching them so they may fast master it. In the interim, Pav of Shadow clone Izuku's. I took them to where I began teaching Tenya after we parted ways. I was surprised to see Denki, Kyoka, Eijiro, and Tenya. Hey, guys? I brought some new recruits to the chakra team, I replied. Tenya queries, Izuku, who are these recruits? As I turn to Tenya and the others, I say, come on, hurry up, Mirio, Najire, Mazo, and Mina, you're taking forever. Adding, also I'm a clone Tenya, so I won't be sparring, I'll be teaching. Tenya says, okay Lunar Sensei, and leaves. I keep telling you to call me Izuku when I'm not teaching, Tenya. Damn it. In any case. The four of them then arrive at my location. Kaminari, would you do the honors? I say. Honors for what? What are we doing? Is there a reason for us being here? Are we training? Can we come by again? Najire begins to inquire. This is what he meant, Najire. Izuku want to teach you how to do stuff like this, and Tenya. Kaminari then says as he stands on the sea. He says, okay, fire style, majestic flame jutsu, and then he unleashes a barrage of fireballs. That's awesome, Izuku, you never told us about this. What kind of quirk is that? Mina inquires. Mina, do you remember my explanation of my quirk for the audience during the sports festival? I inquire. Yeah, why? Was her reply. Well, you guys, the spiritual energy part was a lie. It's true that I use spiritual energy and combine it to make elemental changes. However, what I lied about was that it was a quirk. In all honesty, it's more like an ability that we can all use, and I can awaken all of your spiritual energies, or chakra as it's officially called, in order to apply it and make those jutsu, I assert. Awesome, says Mina. That's pretty intriguing, Mazo said. Are you sure you trust us with this power? Mirio inquires. Najire exclaims, this is so cool, I have so many questions. Now before I do anything, I must tell you that anything you've seen so far and anything you will see and learn is confidential to everyone but who is here, and Momo. Not even the others in the other group can learn about this. Do I make myself understood? I assure you. Mina asks, why not the other group? Because they are learning a different ability that they are not allowed to tell you about, I say. Mina responds, dissatisfied, okay. Also, you may not have noticed it, however, when we teleported I put an invisible tag on all of you, allowing you to only enter this area and not the other. Everyone here has that tag on, including me. However, I have the tag for the other group as well. Mazo asks, okay, so what do we do? First put all of your hands out, I'm saying. All four of them held out their hands when I said that, and I started by arousing each person's chakra, first with Mina, then Mirio, then Najire, and last with Mazo. I looked at the clone I had created and said, now shadow clone jutsu. You start checking up on Denki and Kyoka, I'll start teaching them. I then started teaching them the definition of chakra and how to sense it. I spent the following few hours teaching them how to begin recognizing and utilizing their chakra. From Izuku's point of view, they merely need to practice now that I've taught them the fundamentals of Nen, along with its disadvantages. Alright, I'm going for a short patrol, then I'll check up on you guys, I respond. Bye Lunar, said Fumikage. I replied, getting dressed and taking off. I told you all to call me Izuku. You guys are close friends, now I must be off, I said. From Momo's perspective, Fumikage, don't you think it's so weird how he's telling us this now when he's already told those three? Replied Mashiro. To answer your question, it's because he wanted to get close to you, then find out why you wanted to be a hero. Once he was sure your intentions of being a hero was more out of selflessness, he brought you here, Momo remarked as he approached them. Tamaki inquired, how long have you known? Since the second week of school, but that's only cause I knew him before we got into UA, I say. Fumikage inquired, what about Kota and Todoroki? Shoto knew since right before the second semester and Kota about 2 months ago, and before you think he's prejudiced, he randomly selects a few people to tell at once for both of his powers. We only know of this one and can't speak about this one to the others, and the same applies to them. Tenya was an exception. He taught him early on because he was so revenge-driven and was starting to lose his morals, and Izuku started teaching him if he promised not to go looking for Stain, Momo replies. Mashiro questioned, but didn't he get caught fighting Stain? Yes, but only because he heard natives cry for help. He didn't know it was Stain. That's why he's still being taught, I say. As Tamaki stammers, okay, IFF feel better and now. Mashiro and Fumikage respond, same, I say, well, it's 7:30 p.m., and good luck with your Nen, and turn to leave. From Izuku's point of view, a young girl ran up to me and grabbed hold of me while I was moving about. I say, hey, what's wrong? The girl exclaimed, please DD, don't let the bad man take me, mister. Hugging the girl, I say, don't worry, I won't let them. Hello sir, would you mind handing me back my daughter? Someone said. What is he doing here? Overhaul. Overhaul, I cannot return this girl, you have clearly been abusing her, I declare. So you know who I am? Good, now I can kill you, he shouted. After lifting up the girl, I say, I'm good, let's go, ma'am, and take off. He screams, get back here, as he soars behind me on concrete wings. Alright, I can now guide him to a location where you won't do any harm. I shout back, no, first, you'll have to catch me. He murmurs and lands, stupid hero, he'll die for underestimating the 8 precepts of death. Haha, I'm not just an ordinary hero, you know. I am stronger than All Might. I am awakening, I respond. He shouted, die, and hurled spikes at me. Too short, I respond. Goodbye Overhaul, next time I'll be arresting you. When he saw me running away, he made a motorcycle out of the spikes and began to pursue me. A few minutes later, he becomes enraged, picks up a pistol off the floor, and starts shooting me. I have nano mesh metal armor, so you know that won't work. I'll create a shield because I can't withstand more than 3 bullets. Regards, Mr. Stark. I use the spare nanomesh to create a shield and stop his unending stream of shots. It works for the moment, and he is firing round after bullet into my shield while I fly backward. He cries, fine then, die Eri, as he shoots the girl. Not gonna happen, I reply, and then I shout, lightning style, Chidori. Shing chirp chirp as the bullet got closer to the young child, I sliced it in half. She would have perished half a second later. Sharingan Mangekyo. Amaterasu, his hand gets burned when his pistol suddenly catches fire. He instinctively stops his bike and drops the rifle. I spin around and begin to fly ahead once more. He must be taken to the jungle and stopped there because I cannot allow him to continue running amok. He will have too much time to dig as many weapons out of the dirt as he can before I arrive if I bring him to my time space. There is no other option. Before long, I hear the bike rev, and he starts to follow me once more. I have 5 more minutes to win, 5 more minutes to get out of the way of the public, and 5 more minutes to take care of him. He is still following me, as I can see when I look back, but he suddenly stops and turns around. You win this time, Awakening, but you will not be so lucky next time, he screams. I'm glad the immediate danger is over. I'll defeat him tomorrow. Hey, miss, are you okay? I asked the female. She said, why yes, are you going to hurt me? Hurt you? No, not in a million years. Take care of you? Yes, now I need to make a quick visit home, and then will you come with me? I'm asking. She answers, why yes, Mr. Okay. My name is Izuku Lunar, what's yours? I inquire. I'm Eri, she introduced herself. Okay, Eri, hold on tight, okay? Eri said, okay Mr. Lunar, flying Rajan is the lightning style. Then I calmed down and remark, also Eri, call me Izuku, okay? You don't have to be proper with me, after exclaiming, we're here. Eri remarked, okay Ms. I mean Izuku. I reassure her, saying, there you go. That's better, we're closer already. Eri said, you're not mad. I respond, mad? Why would I be mad? I almost called you mister. Usually the bad man would hit me for calling them the wrong name, she said. Well, you're not with the bad men, Eri. You are with me now, hold on tight, we're going to teleport again, I said. Okay. Eri said, embracing my leg. Flying Rajan is the lightning style. I'll shout my attacks in my head for the time being because I can't utter them aloud without frightening her into believing they're an attack. Knock knock. Who is it? Nezu inquired in his workspace. I answered, me, Izuku Lunar sir, it's urgent. Come in, he said. Aizawa, Midnight, and Nezu were there as I opened the door. So what seems to be the problem, Izuku? Nezu replied. It's okay Eri, they're good guys like me. They're teaching me how to be a better hero so I can save more people, I respond. From behind my leg, Eri peeks her head out. Midnight squealed, kawaii, forcing Eri to duck behind my leg once more. I turn around and say, it's okay, Eri, she just thinks you're cute. With a, oh okay, she answers. I grab her and respond, this is Eri. I was patrolling the area and she bumped into me. I have reason to believe she is the person being used to make the quirk erasing bullets. Really? Inquires Aizawa. Shush, I whisper and then yell. Yes, she is very traumatized. And yelling sends her into a panic also because of her terrible condition. She is very afraid of people, so I've been teleporting her places so she won't have to meet as many people. Saying, hi, I'm Eri. Hi Eri, I'm Nomori Kayama, Midnight answers. Shota Aizawa is Mr. Aizawa's direct response. Hello, am I a bear? A mouse? A dog? We don't know, but we know one thing, I'm the principal of the school. Nezu, replies Mr. Nezu. Hi, I'm Miss KK Kayama, Mr. A Aizawa A and M Mr. N Nezu, says. Nomori squeals, why aren't you so precious? Then Eri ducks into my breast. I proceed to say, don't worry Eri, she just thinks you're super cute. Anyway Mr. Nezu, I was wondering if I could adopt Eri. She can't seem to trust anyone else, so I was wondering if maybe I could take care of her? Why not? I'll send you the paperwork, Nezu replied. Uncle Shota remarked, hold on a minute, isn't he a little young? If we're speaking of young, he's young, but he is still technically the #1 hero. He's young yet he still teaches part-time here with no pay. He's young yet he built his own hero suit. He's young yet he's been an adult since the age of 4. Shota, he'll be fine. Besides, while he is here in UA, I will teach her when she opens up while he is at school. It'll be fine, Nezu states. When Uncle Shota said, true, I'm fine with it then. Really? That fast, Shota? Well, I guess I'll approve it too, says Midnight. Thank you so much Nezu, Uncle Shota, and Ms. Midnight, I say. What happened to just Shota? I thought you liked teasing me by doing that, rubbing it in that you're a teacher as well, he replied. What can I say, you're fun to tease, but really you're my uncle, so Eri, would you like it if I became your papa? I replied. Eri hugs me and yells, yay, papa, okay well, I guess I better be off. Also congrats on scoring the date with Nomori uncle, and I can't wait till I get cousins, I joke. Both of them blush profusely. Aizawa then inquires, how'd you know? Well, I knew you were both crushing hard for each other, but Ms. Midnight and you only called each other by last names, so I guessed and you proved me right, I shout. Nezu inquired, you two are dating? Yup, now I want my 20,000 yen, Nezu, I replied. Ms. Midnight inquired, you guys bet on if we were going to start dating? Nope, we guessed when I said before summer break started, meaning tomorrow, while Nezu guessed it would happen tomorrow, I clarify excitedly. Really, problem nephew, really, he said. Yes really, if it hadn't happened by the end of tonight then I would have started playing matchmaker, I replied. Haha, very funny, now go to take care of your daughter, he said. I answer, yes, uncle, bye, uncle, and take Eri before teleporting to my property. Eri caught her breath and questioned, so is that man my uncle? Yes, and from now on your name is Eri Lunar, my daughter, I shout. Yay, she exclaimed, attempting to laugh. I say, what's wrong, Eri? I can't remember how to smile, papa, explains Eri. It's okay, you'll remember when it matters most, I reassure her. Now do you want an apple? I inquire. She says, yes, apples are so tasty, as her eyes begin to focus on them. Sounds like we have a winner. I'll cut it up into slices. Yay. Thanks Dad, anytime sweetheart. I emailed Nezu after cutting her some apples to ask if it would be okay if I left Eri with him while I went on the raid. He checks to make sure she's alright with it. I say, hey, Eri. What's up, Papa? She asks, turning to face him. Do you mind going over to Uncle Nezu's place tomorrow while I take down the bad guy that hurt you? I inquire. D don't go he's scary, and kills a lot of good people, Eri wails. I have to go make sure he can't harm my little girl anymore. Also, I'm stronger than that bad man, I assure him. She asks, promise you'll come back? I reply, I pinky promise, and when I'm done I'll get you a candy apple. What's that? I respond, an apple but better. She says, okay Dad, as she gives me a staring look. Now Eri, do you want to come with me so we can get you some new clothes? I inquire. To which she replies, sure. Don't worry, Papa will be with you the whole time. Okay. Then let's go, and never forget I'll always protect you. We depart after that, and she wonders if I'm going to teleport. I tell her that I won't, but we will be riding something amazing. She becomes better after that, and we go to the mall. Point of view of Chakra Team's Shadow Clone. Alright, guys, great work. You've all accessed your chakra and have begun moving it. But it's sadly 8:45 p.m. so I'm going to have to call it off for tonight. Also, for now, please do not show your family. I will explain to them soon with a cover-up story. However, for now, if you want to train, please come here. Now since it is summer break, I assume that you will all want to come tomorrow, so I will allow you to come. However, after tomorrow the weekends at my house are off limits and I will only be open Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Understood? I inquired. Okay Izuku. Mina cried out, when Mizo said, thank you very much for teaching us. Najire said, thanks, Izuku. With a, thanks, bro, Mirio. Denki remarked, thanks, dude, see you tomorrow. Saying, bye Izuku. Kyoka, thank you for letting me train Lunar Sensei, Tenya replied. Tenya. I told you to call me Izuku unless I'm teaching at UA, when I return call. Manly. I must thank you again, you helped me when I needed it most, stated Eijiro. No problem, I answered. I let go of the jutsu when they had all left the house. Nen's point of view on shadow clones. Alright, guys, great work. You've all accessed your Nen and have done well with learning 10. But it's sadly 8:45 p.m. so I'm going to have to call it off for tonight. Also, for now, please do not show your family. I will explain to them soon with a cover-up story. However, for now, if you want to train, please come here. Now since it is summer break, I assume that you will all want to come tomorrow, so I will allow you to come. However, after tomorrow the weekends at my house are off limits and I will only be open Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Understood? I inquired. Everyone said, understood, and went out, save for Shoto. Hey Shoto, what's up? I wanted to say thank you for everything. You helped me access my fire and train it, and you taught me this power and believed in me, so I'd like to say thank you, said he. No problem, was my response. You deserved it. Then he walked off, and I gave my information to my actual body by releasing the jutsu. Timeskip overhaul raid at 10 a.m. knock knock. To provide them with the warrant, the cops knocked. Boom, the conflict started once the villains knocked on the door. While Izumi, Mirio, Tamaki, Eijiro, Sir Night-Eye, Fadgum, Rocklock, and I headed in to find the bullets and Overhaul to arrest him. Ryukyu, Suyu, Ochako, Najire, and a few others continued to combat the baddies. As soon as we entered, we discovered a secret room concealed behind a desk-like object that held pictures of the former Yakuza boss. However, as soon as we downed the stairs, walls began to rise due to a user's peculiarity. His peculiarity wasn't this strong, I promise, according to the documentation. Hold on, he's taking a quirk enhancer medication that they manufactured. Mirio declared, I'm going ahead. No, I've gone a better way that's just as fast, but we can all go through, I respond. And what's that? Inquired Rocklock. This, I approached and rapped the wall, breaking it. Fatgum inquired, how much power does your quirk have? That isn't his quirk, Eijiro remarked. What? Cried Rocklock and Fatgum. I clarified, yeah, that's just pure strength. Okay then, moving on, if you can keep breaking walls we'll all go through, Mirio replied. Let's go. I shouted as I ran. We broke down walls for approximately 5 minutes until we found the room, which I knew right away was Ares. There was nothing except a hospital bed, needles, and a ton of bandages. I mumbled, that's Ares' room. Who? I said, a story for after, now let's key. As Fat Gum and Ajiro were taken to battle two baddies somewhere, I was interrupted. I shouted, Red Riot, Fat Gum. 10 more minutes later, Sir Night Eye, Mirio, and I were the only ones remaining. I shouted, shattering the wall, come on, Overhaul and another person were attempting to escape behind that. My words were, get back here, and I punched him to the ground. He launched spikes in our direction and roared, stupid brat, think you can take me on? Ha, never, but. With a tiny tip of my finger, I broke all of the spikes and stated, I'm not dealing with your fucking bullshit Overhaul, these spikes are boom nothing. Ha, then you will be the first, he said, after shooting me with the bullet to get rid of my peculiarities and then launching more spikes, you will be the first to die. Boom tap, I told you your spikes are nothing, I said. Okay, so I can't tell them what I can do or they'll suspect anything. He said, what how? I got rid of your quirk. I walked up to him and said, I haven't used my quirk yet Overhaul, now you're going to prison. Never, he seized the other individual and joined him? Then hurled hundreds of spikes in our direction, you never get it. I struck the earth, breaking it and sending all the spikes flying. I leap up, locate 5, and kick them all in the direction of Overhaul. He slammed them back after countering by building a wall. Overhaul and I were slugging it out, and neither of us was getting anywhere. As he continued to make additional spikes to force me back, I was smashing every barrier he threw at me, turning it into dust. After several minutes, Night Eye regained his composure and began to persevere. Knowing where each spike will appear and avoiding them. Distracted by Night Eye and myself, we pushed in his direction. He failed to notice a spike behind him. Then I turned to Night Eye and said, no, smashing it. Go back and start getting the evidence the other guy had, and I'll deal with him. Given the possibility of his death, he complied and proceeded to collect the evidence, which included 4 bullets, a message that was attached, blood samples, and photographic proof while I was engaged in combat. Night Eye, I have faith in you. I shout, this ends now Overhaul. Shadow clone jutsu, and 40 clones materialize. How I took away your quirk, that shouldn't be possible, he shouted. We screamed, massive Rasengan barrage, and slammed 40 massive Rasengan into his armor. I say, release, causing all 40 clones to vanish. How? This version should have taken your quirk away permanently, so how? He inquired. Because the only quirk I have is a healing quirk that I said during the event. The other stuff was a lie, it's just abilities that everyone can have, however I have to awaken them, I clarify. Overhaul shouted, I'm not done, as he healed his wounds and remerged. Yes, you are, I reply, punching him in the ceiling, shattering his ribs and likely causing damage to his spinal cord. Hey, my quirk lets me edit anything I touch, so you can't hurt me, he exclaimed, getting up and repairing himself. I touch him and say, water style, water prison jutsu, before he can move. Yes, but water cannot be edited. Even though I'm not very good at water style, I can still do this fundamental water jutsu. It's over, is what I said when I walked over to the Eye and Mirio holding Overhaul tonight. Gurgles boom, I shouted. How, brat, you will not mess with me, I am the strongest opponent you will ever face, he said. Then he surfaced and transformed into a large bird-like creature. I leap to my feet and strike him in the jaw, but he keeps his composure and punches me to the ground, leaving a crater where I hit the ground. Not bad, however your peculiarity has led you to the wrong domain. I sprinted out behind him and silently leapt to my feet as the smoke cleared. I screamed. You've lost massive Rasengan, shattering his hideous creation. I shouted, creating 2 clones beneath me, shadow clone jutsu. Wind style. Gale palm, they exclaimed, encouraging me to overhaul before fading away. I shout, Boruto stream, and punch him into the air with Tsunade's might. I see him desperately trying to figure out how to land while he heals himself. I jump with all of my strength as soon as I land and meet him up there. I blow him to the ground and have a clone punch him back up. You're done hurting people, abusing quirks, and illegally using your own. Tsunade strike, I cry. He stated, I won't lose, to mend himself before coming to me. I cry, yes, you will, massive Rasengan, and send him hurtling through the air. I fly up to him after turning on my suit. What sort of monster is this that is still conscious? When I saw he was conscious, I grabbed him and carried him to the police station after blasting both of his arms out of commission. I told the cops, I need anti-quirk cuffs now. When an officer arrived, he gave me the handcuffs. I put them on and went to Tartarus to turn him in, but just as I was leaving, Overhaul woke up. I apologized to Eri, but I'll be back as soon as I'm done with this jerk. While still waking up, Overhaul questioned, where the fuck am I? You Overhaul are arrested for illegal quirk usage, attacking a hero, child abuse, unlawful experimentation, and more. Enjoy Tartarus seeing as you're the third person to come here. I do hope you enjoy it, I said as I turned around. Tartarus? You mean the place with that quirk-stealing lunatic? Take me back please. Any other prison, please, he pleaded. Nope, seeing as you've escaped prison 3 times, this is the only place that you'll be kept. That way you won't try to escape, I said and left the room. He yelled, no, as I took off. I'm coming home. Eri, I apologize for taking so long. Nezu. Ring. Ring? Hello. Am I Mo? Nezu says as she answers the phone. Before he could say anything further, I told him, Nezu, I'm coming. I'll be at your place in 3. I just dropped off Overhaul in Tartarus. See you soon. Man. I'm pleased just soaring around and taking in the tranquility. Let's go on to my daughter right now. I drove quickly and was at his house in about 1.5 minutes. Eri emerged shortly after, and I thanked Nezu before teleporting home. I turned to face my partner and exclaimed, gosh, that was definitely something. Hi Momo. She inquired. Who's the girl Zuzu? My daughter? I asked, a little doubtful. She said, what? She's already like 6, what the hell? Chill, she's adopted. She was the one Kai was using for the quirk erasing bullets. I saved her last night and adopted her because she is too afraid of everyone else, I replied. PPP Papa WW, who is TTT this? Eri said, seeming a little alarmed by her. Eri, this is my girlfriend Momo, I replied. She questioned, girlfriend? What's that? Well, it's someone you love who isn't a part of your family that you want to make a part of your family. Anyway, I guess the easier way to say it is she is your impromptu mom. I said. I will definitely be killed for this, Nezu, please have pity on my soul. With a tick mark growing larger on her scalp, she exclaimed, so you just adopted a girl without confronting me about it? With some self-disgust, I reply, why yeah I guess. Okay. Well hello. Eri, my name is Momo Yayarozu, I'm Izuku's girlfriend, I hope we can get along well, she was grinning. Thank you, Kami, for Eri. I'm sorry, Eri, but you are my only line of defense. OSHT, that isn't right. She said, unaware of what she had done before. Okay, Mama, it's nice to meet you. Yay Papa, I have a mama now. I managed to get out the final line, yeah, that's right, I'm sorry for throwing you into this Mo. This isn't over. She murmured to me as she approached us, then turned to Eri and asked, do you want to play with your mama? Eri begged, yay Dad, can I? Sure, I'll start working on lunch, I replied. Well, at least I still have 15 minutes to live. Think creatively, yeah. Oh my god, I'm dead, am I not? Yes you are, said Momo. No. Eri and Mo came inside to eat when I finished preparing lunch. Shortly after lunch, I switched on the television and showed Eri the movie she requested, a Tangled. To be exact. How ironic. Momo stated she wanted to talk after that. It was a pleasure to meet you, Eri, Class 1A- Bakugo. Goodbye. Eri's perspective, Mommy and Daddy told me to knock if I needed anything and that they had to go outside for a while to talk. They assured me that they would only be gone for a few moments just as I was ready to accompany them. As Papa remarked, HMPH Momo street muffled sounds. Looks like Momo is winning their little boxing game. I hope Rapunzel gets free like me, I stated. After a few minutes and a few muffles, Mama was pulling Papa by his collar at the back of the room they entered. Papa's head had 6 bulges, 2 of which had a smaller protrusion on top. Given how strong Papa is and what happened to him, I should never provoke Mama to get upset with me. 3 weeks later, time jump, Izuku's point of view. It's too damn silent. Throughout the last 3 weeks, there have only been 12 crimes committed throughout Japan as a whole. Up until 3 weeks ago, Japan had an average of 25 crimes a day. It bothers me. It takes time for crime rates to decline that sharply. Okay, let me call Mo. Ring 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 ring. Mo said, hello. What's up Zuzu? Mom, I'm calling in everyone including Bakugo for the training. The villains are planning something and I know it. Also, it's time you learned chakra. What? Are you sure that's wise Bakugo? You know what that will do to his ego, right? Also, learning chakra sounds fun. But still Bakugo is the main problem, replied she. Yeah, but not just our Class 1B Shinso. The UA staff including my biological parents, Kamui Woods, Best Jeanist, and Edgeshot, Sir Night-Eye, Ryukyu, and Fadgum. Sadly I cannot trust Endeavor at this time, I replied. I know you've been fixing your relationship with your parents, but isn't this a bit too trusting? They'll use this as an extra chance to be closer to you. I know we could use all the help, but you realize what grave you're digging, right? Mo responded with some concern. Yes I know, that's why I've already made it so Iida and Kirishima will teach them all the basics for the chakra team, and Shoto and you will teach them the basics in Nen. I'll be helping with the advanced stuff like Jutsu for Denki and Kyoka for chakra and the others when they understand the basics, while I help Kota, Fumikage, Mashirao, and Tamaki with the more advanced practices in Nen. I have a schedule lined up, but if we don't hurry then it'll be too late, I replied. Mo answers, sounds good Zuzu, love you, I answered, by Mo, I love you too. Beep. I then sent a text message and made a GC with everyone I would need. Awakening. Hello everyone. What is the current issue with insomnia, nephew? Half. Izuku. What do you need? Alien Queen. How are you, Izuku? Brainwasher. Why am I in this place? Half. So you also invited the child of Aizawa's secret love? IAMAWAKENING. Shoto, stop acting like such a secret love child. In any case, I would like everyone to visit my home tomorrow so we can talk about the decline in crime. ALLMIGHTISHERE. Alright, can you tell me why there are so many people there? Big hands. Maybe you know everything. Izumi. How are you, buddy? Dad. ALLMIGHTISHERE. Izumi. How is your training going? Everything is going pretty well. Izumi. Fantastic, I appreciate you asking, Dad. Copycat. You're All Might's daughter, I'm sure you're conceited and believe you're the greatest. Boom boom boy. Quit talking like a phony. You're not the best. You didn't even make it to the sporting festival's final event, quit talking shit. Copycat. Class 1A is full of jerks, as I knew. Bloodbender. Monoma, get out of here, copycat, alright. IAMAWEKENING. Regardless, cough cough tomorrow, everyone, including you, Momoma, will meet me in the Takoba Municipal Beach Park at 9 a.m. Tenya, Eijiro, Momo, and Shoto, however, will need to meet us at my house for the project. Cheesy. You should be familiar, right? Sensei, Sonic follows rules. Yes, when I'm not teaching at UA, I'm Izuku. I told you to call me Izuku. Sonic follows rules. Apologies, Izuku. What's an insomniac for? MANLYROCK. Izuku, see you there. Production. Okay Zuzu. Half. Alright Alien Queen. Project. What is that, cheesy? IAMAWEKENING. A last-ditch attempt, and I don't really care if the people I've previously chosen meet us at my house or on the beach. Insomniac. What for again? IAMAWEKENING. Your quirk will be awakened. Huh? ALLMIGHTISHERE Hornidich. What? Sadistic. What? Woodstyle. What? Bigger. What? How was a 16-year-old supposed to assist us? IAMAWEKENING. A video was sent IAMAWEKENING. That's what I taught Iida. Have any inquiries? Insomniac. But that's not his peculiarity. IAMAWEKENING. It's an awakened form. By waking his quirk, he discovered how to manipulate fire. What else is it? Hello. Endeavor joined the group chat. How TFIAMAWEKENING. Attempt. SHOTOEHF. No Endeavor. What are you going to teach me? IAMAWEKENING. Not at all Endeavor. You will teach me Brat, because I am currently the best hero. IAMAWEKENING. I could kick your ass to the sun and back before you could scratch me, which is why you're the only one at the top. Additionally, you haven't demonstrated the actual traits of a hero, thus I haven't added you. Endeavor. I am a real hero and more stronger than you are, youngster. What are you talking about? IAMAWEKENING. No, you are not nearly as strong as I am. What possibility do you have that I could defeat All Might in his peak without having to move? ALLMIGHTISHERE. He is telling the truth. He never shown more than 5% of his abilities, and he did so during the battle between AFO and Overhaul. Just 5% of his power was used. 5%. IAMAWEKENING. Thank you. D. Toshinori, like I mentioned. Try. IAMAWEKENING. Should I tell them about Shoto and Tuya's lives with you now that you're a real hero? Not to mention Rei? Try. IAMAWEKENING. Alright, leave now. Endeavor has been barred from the GC by IAMAWEKENING. IAMAWEKENING. Please don't get on my bad side because I have blackmail on everyone here. You are included in it, Nezu. Actually, I burned all of my blackmail on Momo, so that is a lie. Everyone. Alright, IAMAWEKENING. Until tomorrow, see you everyone. Would you like to go on a date? Creation. Indeed. Girls. Oh my goodness, the wife of all mites, grandchildren. IAMAWEKENING. Just yet. Creation.x is no longer functional. IAMAWEKENING. Could you watch Eri, Uncle Show? My wife all mites. Who is Eri? It's none of your damn business. IAMAWEKENING sleep aid. All right. Nem, would you like to assist with your great niece? The wife of all mites. Grandbabies. IAMAWEKENING. She's adopted, but not yet. Dragon power. Give up. IAMAWEKENING. Ryukyu, thank you. The future's my bitch. Izuku, see you later. Lemillion, that just took place. Fatsgimfats. It did, indeed. That was a pain in the ass. Following that, Mo and I went on a date to a fancy restaurant, where I paid, and then we went to a movie, where I bought the tickets and she bought the snacks. We went to my place and cuddled while we slept on that beautiful night. 9 a.m. everyone was present, with the exception of Izumi, Telik, and All Might. With the exception of Izumi, who kept my training a secret, everyone else who already knew was at my house training. Ryukyu inquired, so boy, how do we awaken our quirk, as you put it? As I watched them appear, I said, I will explain when All Might, Telik, and Deki speak of the devil and he shall come. She yelled out, hey Izuku, sup sis, now, All Might, if you're wondering why I invited you here, well, I can revive your hero career even though you can no longer use your quirk. I said, also this has nothing to do with awakening your quirks, but I'll explain when we're home. All but Izumi asked, what are you talking about? Izumi questioned, you're really telling them? Yeah. If we're going to win this war, I'll need to give it to them, I replied. Aizawa questioned, what war problem, nephew? What, you haven't noticed the drop in criminal activity? Only people who are severely struggling and only did it as a last resort have committed crimes. All organized crimes have disappeared. If anything, they're planning a siege, I said. Sir Night Eye remarked, well, then we need to prepare. 10 of my clones shouted, Shadow Clone Jutsu. 19 clones, now Class 1B, come with us except for Kendo. Also Kamui Woods, Fatgum, Telik, Dynamite, and Night Eye, you're with us, and they all teleported. I teleported them along with the other 9, saying, and the rest of you will be with us. Here is the final roster for Team Nen. Fumikage Tokiyami, Tamaki Amakiji, Mashirao Ojiro, Momo Yaoyorozu, soon to be Lunar, Koji Kota, Shoto Todoroki, Inko Yagi, Suyu Asui, Taishiro Toyomitsu, Shinji Nishia, Class 1B- Kendo, Katsuki Bakugo. He could be a little more helpful if he were in chakra, but he would become even more Ira. Mina Ishido, Mirio Tagata, Najire Hato, Mazo Shoji, Denki Kaminari, Kyoka Jiru, Tenya Iida, Eiichiro Kirishima, Tsunagu Hakamada, Shinya Kamihara, Momo Yaoyorozu, Ryuko Tatsuma, Toshinori Yagi, Yuga Aoyama, Ochako Uraraka, Rikido Sato, Tsunade, Honta Siro, and the UA faculty make up the roster of the OK Team Chakra. Alright everybody, calm your asses down, I scream. Now proceed with your group. Once there you will meet your teachers as well as my clones who will help with any strugglers, I said. Before long, both teams were en route to their designated training grounds. After creating one more clone for the Chakra team, I went to see how Eri was doing. The clones of Team Nen, it took an hour to ensure that everyone could activate 10, and the strugglers were already exhausted when Team Nen arrived at their training area, introduced himself, slapped everyone, and explained how to do so. Team Nen, your teachers are Shoto Todoroki and Momo Yaoyorozu, the clones then said. Inko said, where are teenagers teaching? Yes, Mrs. Yagi. Momo has been training her Nen for nearly a year. While I have been training it for nearly 6 months, we have mastered all the basics and are continuing with developing our unique style to the max. So from here on we will be your senseis, Shoto replied. Katsuki said, I'm not taking orders from you half and half bastard. Fine then don't learn, and when you become a burden to the rest of us for the siege don't blame us. Also there's no way you'll be number one with such a disadvantage, Momo stated. Katsuki moaned, TCH fine. Now today and for the next 24 hours we will be working on getting you to be able to activate and deactivate your 10 in a moment's notice, Momo stated. We will watch for mistakes and tell you what needs to be improved. We will also be of assistance if anything goes wrong. However, your main teachers are Shoto and Momo, the clones added jointly. With a cheerful tone, Momo exclaimed, now let's get started, before becoming serious and gloomy and said, because of our limited time this will be hell for all of you, but we need to be ready. Now all of you activate your 10 again. Remember what it felt like, Shoto remarked. Everyone got it up within 10 minutes or so. The entire crew began to come up with a plan after Shoto realized that teaching would be ineffective. This will take too long teaching you as a group, so we are going to divide you up evenly between the 12 of us. Seeing as there are 24 of you here, there will be 2 per each person, explained Shoto. Hi, said the group. Now turn off your 10 again and we will be dividing you up, stated Momo. Group Chakra, 3rd POV. Hello, Eiichiro said as he watched the party arrive while dangling by his feet from a tree branch. According to Aizawa sensei, how the hell? I'll be your first instructor. For those who don't know me or need a refresher, I'm Eiichiro Kirishima and I'll be teaching you chakra with the help of, he began. Me. Hello, students. I guess that's the right term. With us we will teach you the basics, then for your elemental ability you will be transferred to either personal training with me, Eiichiro, Izuku, Izumi, Kyoka, or Denki depending on your elemental strength. Until then me and Eiichiro will teach you how to do it while the clones supervise and help you all when needed, Tenya said as she stood on water. How the fuck are you standing on water? I swear to God if somebody doesn't explain right now I'm gonna lose it, Aizawa responded. Ah yes, well, do you guys remember the spiritual energy part of Izuku's quirk? Replied Eiichiro. Yeah, what about it, was the response from nearly everyone. Well, that's what we're using. His spiritual energy isn't a quirk and neither is his life energy. He only said that to throw people off, and that is what we will be teaching you how to use. With us you will learn how to walk and stand on water, ceilings, walls, etc. The basic transformation jutsu, deciphering what elemental change your spiritual energy is accustomed to, and basic activation of that elemental change, Tenya said. Okay. I'm still very confused but I get the gist of it, Aizawa replied. Wait, first you said Izumi would teach us after we learned the basics. What is that about? Toshinori inquired. Well, actually she started training a while ago, not too long before Kyoka and Denki. She is a master with her 3 elemental changes, Eiichiro said. Toshinori questioned, how come she never told us? Because we didn't allow her to explain to you. We only were going to teach those who we had solid belief and basically evidence that you wouldn't abuse this power. However, that changed when we realized the villains are probably ganging up planning a siege, so now we invited everyone we trust even if we didn't have proof. However, Shota Aizawa, Nomori Kayama, Nezu, we were planning on telling you anyways, the clones clarified. Okay, complained Toshinori. Tenya walked out on the coast and stated, now all of you walk up and make a line and we are going to give you a handshake awakening your chakra. They all moved forward, shook hands, and experienced an odd feeling inside of them. Now everyone please sit down and begins meditating and reach in your soul. You should find a mysterious thing there that feels like power and we need you to pull it and have it expand throughout your body. This will take quite a few hours, however it may feel like minutes to you, Eiichiro remarked. Yes, now please do as Eiichiro said and then we can begin learning. People began to activate their chakra network throughout the course of the following 5 hours. Edgeshot, also known as Shinya Kamihara, was the first to finish, taking 2 hours and 15 minutes to complete. 2 hours later, Aizawa was the second person to complete. Nearly everyone completed the next 45 minutes, with Aoyama finishing 15 minutes later. That was the start of war preparations, at an unidentified place. Gigantomachia is almost awake. Tamura, your all for one quirk is fully ready. You should have full control, explained a physician. Thank you, doctor. Now time to use Izuku's original quirk and start building our army with the help of the Otsutsuki. July 1, 2321. For almost a month, my team and I have been educating the new hires. Even though Bakugo, Ryukyu, Sir Night-Eye, and All Might are learning their skills more quickly than the others, they are still lagging behind everyone who began training earlier. All 3 of the jutsu that the average recruit has mastered are B rank or lower. Thanks to Light and L, my estimates are nearly always accurate. By the end of the month, the Love members will most likely launch an attack. When society's hero collapses. After that, I turned on the television and watched the news, where I noticed breaking news. Reporter. Because of the strength of the most recent heroes, the Hero Association has chosen to continue paying the top 10 and the Hero in Training Awakening, while suspending the salaries of the remaining heroes because of the low crime rate in the city. Because of all the hard work, we are in a true utopia where we are not plagued by supervillains or an unwavering fear of villain attacks. Reporter 2. What happens when the Awakening and the top 10 retire? I disagree. Will they be able to decide who gets paid and who doesn't? If that is true, then it is incredibly unfair to heroes who serve others out of pure altruism rather than for fame, such as Awakening, who is now performing heroics for free because he is still enrolled in school. Reporter 1. Nevertheless, they will still be able to select someone who is kind and strong enough to do the tasks of a hero. Reporter 2. I can't do that. The heroes will ultimately turn corrupt. Perhaps not our current 11, but what about the next 11, or the ones who, after recognizing their power, might topple our government? Reporter 1. The heroes would never permit such to occur. Reporter 2 is right. Furthermore, they are unaware that the Love is still at large. This is awful, awful. Ring ring. As the show goes on, I make a call to the news office. The receptionist, hello MHA News, this is Carol, answered. Hello, this is Awakening. I would like to put my opinion on the current matter if that is all right with your station, I say. She muttered something to her coworkers before inviting them to join her. When I saw this, I created a shadow clone to keep an eye on Eri while I went to the news station. I watched the entire news broadcast, and they revealed I would be attending the show just before I got there. When I saw this, I hurried as quickly as I could, entered the station, and knocked on the door. And here he is now, the hero in Training Awakening, said the reporter upon hearing this. My approach is straightforward. Reporter 2's point of view is correct. What, care to explain? Asked Reporter 1. I removed my hero suit and said, our current number 1 hero, Endeavor, and the previous number 1 hero. All Might be both great heroes, however they were terrible people. All Might was quirkist, and Endeavor is an abuser. I have proof and brought it with me. However, the biggest reason it will fail is that organized crime breaks won't be stopped fast enough in the future, making every bust a life-threatening bust with major injuries to all 11 heroes. Reporter 1 responded, that is an interesting point of view. I wonder what the government will do. I teleported home after saying, thanks for your time, I'll take my leave now, and rising up. If everything goes as planned, the government will postpone the LOV's plans for another week, which will give me the chance to train Aizawa with the Sharingan and teach them all an A-rank jutsu for the novices in life or death situations. Location unknown. Tamura Shigaraki Pav. As I saw Awakening's speech, I exclaimed, God fucking damn it. Kurogiri questioned, what's the matter, Tamura? Awakening, that's the fucking problem. He just delayed our plans. Now it will take a month to move forward. All our troops are trained. Gigantomachia is ready, and I have a ton of quirks, but no Awakening just came in and told the government what would happen if they crumble Hero Society, and now they're going to push back the dissolving of heroes from tomorrow to at the most 2 weeks from now. And when that happens, we'll need to wait even longer just to attack when the clingy heroes finally give up. Fuck you, Awakening. I go on and on. Izuku's perspective. Sneeze, my plan seems to have succeeded, and I'm sure that Manchild is furious right now. Haha. How much I would pay to see that, guy. From Tamura's perspective, calm down boss, now we got extra time to make sure the villains are ready to obliterate those heroes, Dabi stated. Yes, 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 you are right. I murmur before screaming, your plan will fail, Awakening. This is war and I will win, I promise you that. Third POV, government headquarters. The majority of the employees were going crazy inside the headquarters. Realizing that they thwart heroes, the room erupted after the hero in training's address, in which he stated that they should continue to pay others. The drawback? There are just 15 crimes in the last month, and the police could have caught all of them, so they can't keep them for long. The taxpayers will be upset that they're still paying almost 200 heroes and another 500 sidekicks. One of the representatives stated, Sir, I think we should give them 5 more days to prove their worth before we shut them down. Objection, exclaimed another. Granted, stated the member in charge. I believe we should continue. I believe Awakening said that to buy as much time as he could before he had to carry the weight of Japan with only 10 other heroes, even though there has been so little crime, she concluded. Objection was declared by another. Granted. I believe that his point of view is correct. The love has never been truly detained, and even if they fell apart, as we are now suspecting, each member is highly dangerous, and when they do make a move it will take more than just those 11 to stop them, added the officer. What is your take as some of the biggest sponsors for heroes Mr. and Mrs. Yaoyorozu, Mr. and Mrs. Iida, and finally Mr. Shields, stated the member in charge. I believe that we should give them 14 days to continue until their pay is terminated. If what Awakening said is true, giving them 14 will give them time to prepare for such disasters, and if that never comes to pass, then we gave them extra time to prove their worth, said Mr. Yaoyorozu. I agree, responded Mr. Shields, Mrs. Yaoyorozu, Mr. Iida, and Mrs. Iida. Officials, you have your answer from the sponsors. Any objections? He inquired. 5 out of the 132 representatives said, objection. Speak, said the president. Say we follow and they all prove worthless, that will be giving them more free pay for nothing, one said. The second came next. Also, if what he said is true, then the villains will wait and delaying will do nothing. Agreed. Was followed by the other 3. Counter? He inquired. Yes, although the second has a point. I wholeheartedly believe he knew that and wanted us to delay as long as possible so he could prepare with the other 10 to make sure the villains don't win while the other heroes patrol. If that is the case, then we could be saving Japan by giving them these 14 days to strategize and prepare, Mrs. Yaoyorozu said. The third person raised their voice and asked, and what guarantee do you have? His past actions, every move he has made until now, he has always had a perfect strategy or plan to get around obstacles he can't beat. For example, with his rescue for Eri the day before the Yakuza raid, he took the villain out of the city before he turned around, knowing if they fought in the city hundreds of thousands of yen would be wasted repairing the crime scene. Also during the USJ, he never went too far as to injure his fellow classmates. Against AFO he never created more damage. All the damage was created by AFO and All Might when they were fighting. I believe we should trust he has a reason for this, Mrs. Iida said. That isn't good enough for 14 days, maybe for 10 but not 14. The fourth representative who disagreed stated. Mr. Shields stated, then I will sponsor the last 4 days. The Yaoyorozus stated, and we will support you. The Iidas came to the conclusion, as will we. The verdict has been reached, stated the judge. The government will sponsor their harrowing for 10 more days. Any further sponsoring will fall to the citizens. Mr. Shields said, thank you so much, bowing. No problem. Izuku is Momo's boyfriend and he has proven dozens of times to put our trust in him, said Mrs. Yaoyorozu. And he is our son Tenya's classmate who he saved from stain as well as helped him when he lost his way, stated Mr. Iida. Like my husband, wife said, we truly believe in the hero awakening, said Mrs. Iida and Mr. Yaoyorozu. Jump ahead 3 days. From Izuku's perspective. I remarked, Aizawa, we need to talk, as I walked up to him. What's up, nephew? He asked as he practiced his jutsu. I'm going to personally be training you now, not my clones, not the students but me, replied I. He questioned, and why would that be? Because you are Uchiha, I said. Then he said, that being? As I transform my eyes into their typical 3-tomo form, I utter, you have the blood to activate these eyes. He questioned, and those eyes do? I then explained to him all the advantages, including the ability to develop genjutsu, better reflexes, and the ability to mimic the chakra movements of his opponents. I also told him that, of the 50 individuals present, you are the only one who will activate these eyes besides me. So what are we going to do to train them? He inquired. I called him Kamui, bringing him into my time-space. You will be learning this cloning technique first. Your chakra reserves should be able to handle 10 clones, and your Sharingan. Now first we need to activate those eyes. Think about anybody you've lost, or seen injured who you deeply cared about and keep up with chakra in your eyes, I advise. Okay, he answers. As soon as he starts crying, I approach him, give him a hug, and meet his eyes. Oh awful, he must have lost a loved one because he activated his Mangekyo. Okay good, however that is a bit faster than what we want, try bringing it down just slightly, I responded. Okay, he replied, a few tears lingering in his eyes. Good job. Now I want you to watch my hands, tell me what you see. I began utilizing hand gestures to infuse chakra, but I wasn't doing jutsu. There is like a flowing green energy, but sometimes they clash, canceling the built-up energy. That's what I'm seeing, responded Aizawa. Good, now try and copy my strength level using your eyes. Also face this way, we're going to be doing the jutsu I showed you guys that Tenya did on the GC weeks ago, I replied. What about the surroundings? We could make some seriously devastating changes with that power, he was almost shouting. This is a pocket dimension area, well, more accurately my time space, so this isn't the real world, I replied. His response was, okay. As he calmed down, I said, let's go, and began to make some hand signals. Majestic Destroyer Flame Justu is the fire style. Aizawa screamed, fire style, Majestic Destroyer Flame Jutsu. Aizawa finished yelling the jutsu and followed exactly after me, a second after I had completed thinking and had begun the jutsu. Great job, I said to him. Also, did you realize what else you managed to do with the Sharingan? I inquired. No, he said in return. Well, how did you know the jutsu name? I responded. He asked, the video. He never once mentioned the name when I showed him the video of Tenya performing it. So how did you know the name? I responded. I'm not sure. What are you getting at, problem, nephew? He responded, irritated. You can use the hypnotic part of the eye to read minds, I replied. Wait, what? He exclaimed in a bewildered tone. Yup, the hypnotic part of the eye isn't only for genjutsu, however, seeing as you mastered that so fast, it's time to train you in genjutsu, I said. You're going to continuously put them into a genjutsu until you can put them all into one and keep them all there for 10 minutes, I said. Fuck, he moaned, no longer willing to work. I exclaim, now get to work, as I exit the dimension. Following that, Momo and I went to her parents' house to formally thank them for their long-term support. After grabbing the Rolls-Royce keys, I took Eri, and we left. When we got on the road, I asked her, Eri, are you ready to meet your grandparents? Grandparents? She asked, perplexed. They're our parents. Well, I don't have any, so you can only meet your grandparents on mommy's side, but they're basically mommy's parents, I said. With excitement, she exclaimed, mommy's parents, yay, I can't wait. With everyone coming and leaving from my house, Eri has become used to small gatherings but still gets anxious in big ones. I persisted in attempting to tear down that wall, but I simply took my time so she wouldn't feel under pressure. As soon as we arrived, Mo and I approached the door and knocked. They were shocked to see us when they opened the door after 13 seconds. Mrs. Yaoyorozu questioned, what brings you guys here? Well, we came in order for one to thank you, I replied. She said, Nonezans, come in, beckoning us inside. Eri inquired, is this mommy's mom? Inquiring, who is this cutie, Mrs. Yaoyorozu? Well, she is my adoptive daughter Eri. If you remember, I told you I rescued her, however she was too afraid to leave me, so I ended up adopting her. She recently began calling Mo mommy, and M may have told you that your K kind of her grandparents? I replied, inquiring about the outcome. Grandbabies! Exclaimed Mrs. Yaoyorozu. Mr. Yaoyorozu came down and exclaimed, Izuku, don't tell me you got my daughter pregnant, just to hear the end. Dad. Zuzu would never do that so early in our relationship, replied Mo. Then what is the squealing about grandbabies about? Mr. Yaoyorozu asked. My adoptive child Eri Midoriya, she's the girl I saved from the Yakuza intervention right before the raid, I said. He questioned bewilderedly, so you adopted her? Yes, because she is scared around everyone else. However, the past nearly 2 months I've been slowly but carefully taking away her fear of people, I replied. All right, Mr. Yaoyorozu responded, let's eat. Thank you very much, Mr. Yaoyorozu, I said. Kid, call me Heishi, you are dating my daughter, said he. I bow slightly and say, okay, Heishi, well, thank you very much for your hospitality. No need. However, we do have some questions about your appearance, Heishi responded. Okay. I assume you want to wonder what the reason was? I inquire. Yes, I believe we have a few ideas, however they all end up with not enough time. We know with your intelligence that you wouldn't have done that, so what is your goal so we can fully support you during the 4 days we sponsor the heroes? Heishi inquires. Actually, I've been training my team for a month now. This team is Class 1A, Class 1B, the X-Big 3, the current UA staff All Might, and a few other pros. I clarify and then continue. They are currently learning how to use the 2 abilities I've previously told you about that isn't a quirk but lied about during the sports festival. But you had said there was insane amount training that couldn't be ordinarily reached much less than in a month, he said with disbelief. Actually, that was a lie because back then I didn't fully trust you guys, however now I do, so let me explain. The life force is called Nen. It can be acquired by one of 2 ways. The first would be a push or smack with Nen that will force open all the nodes. The downside to this is A, too hard and it could seriously injure the person. B. If they can't activate 10, then seal it fast enough they will die. The second way is via meditation while searching for the nodes and slowly opening. This way you will start in 10 and removes the drawbacks of the first option, but it takes years of constant meditation. Do you follow so far? I'm curious. Yes, I also understand why you would lie. If it got out there would be chaos. Please continue, he replied to me. After that, I spent the next 3 hours responding to inquiries and providing details about both Nen and chakra. I go on to inform them that Momo has a mastery of Nen and is currently working on chakra. I told her about Nen the first night she was there, but it took some time. Every time I received forgiveness out of understanding, I repeatedly apologized for my secrets. They were about to ask me to join them for dinner when I suddenly realized something. Aizawa. It's likely that he is still training. I apologize. I would love to eat dinner, however first I must make sure nothing too bad happened at my place. Would you mind giving me just a few minutes? I said. Sure, while you're gone we'll be making preparations. I said, thank you, Kamui, to inquire about Aizawa's condition. He was unconscious as I entered, and so were 3 of my clones. I inquired, what happened? One of the clones retorted, those 3 expended the majority of their chakra to ensure Aizawa was okay. He continued training even when his levels fell dangerously low. Thank you all so much, but I need to release the jutsu and I'll take care of him for now, I replied. Excellent. Free all the clones, they said, and vanished. I said, phew, he did great, and then I woke him up. Nephew, what's wrong? Where am I? He asked blearily. Let's get you home, okay? That's my time space, may I ask? All right, he complained. After checking on him and making sure he was okay, I teleported into the Yaoyorozu estate and enjoyed a delicious lunch. So, is this what you often eat? Because if it is, I'm really envious, I added as I finished my dinner. PFFFFFFT, Momo chuckled. Come on Zuzu, we both know your cooking is better than this. You ruined it, darn it. I pretended to pout. Oh my goodness, I heard you could cook. Akari teased, why Momo, you sure found yourself a good one. Mom. Mo blushed and said, Izuku, hi, she replied, another positive note for you. Yes, I mumble to myself, and then I say, Haishi, thank you. Do you want me to prepare dessert? I inquired. Mo replied, Zuzu better not hold back, in a slightly sultry tone. I had shivers when I saw Hiashi's glance, and I exclaimed, Mo, consider what you just said. Haishi is misinterpreting. I apologize, Zuzu. Your cuisine is simply amazing, she said. Amazing. All right, let's move on. May I make some dessert? I inquire, still a little afraid of Haishi. Yes, Izuku, you may, and Momo, don't scare me like that again, Haishi responded. Sorry, Dad, she responded, appearing a little disheartened. After asking where the ingredients are in the pantry, I lead the way to the kitchen and spend the next 90 minutes making a dessert that will blow them away. When I finally saw the finished result, I thought, damn, I think I outdid myself. Put in an order. I shouted to the others that I was done. Wow, Zuzu, it appears amazing. She uttered. I answered, well, I didn't hold back. Following that, Haishi, Akari, and Momo all sampled it and appeared to be in a state of pleasure. I was going to take a few pictures when I saw something a little strange about Momo and Akari. Did they not? Momo and Akari, in the meantime, we'll just assume that they were in heaven. Izuku's perspective. Akari, are you okay, Mo? May I ask? When they realized what had happened, they both snapped out of it and blushed profusely. So, what exactly happened? I inquired with Haishi. I don't know, but I can tell you certainly are a master baker, replied he. All right, so do you know what that strange odor is? May I ask? It's nothing, let's just leave the room for a second, responded he. You must be kidding me. Fuck, they both orgasmed. I suppose I should have refrained. That's what it is, then, isn't it? I inquired. What are you saying? He answered, sorry Haishi, but you can't lie to Mua. I just needed confirmation. If you've smelled that before seeing as you clearly have, that means they clearly overly enjoyed themselves. Don't worry, I won't bring it up, I respond. Thanks, but seriously, what kind of baking was that to make them do? Well, that, said he. I managed to get out the final sentence. Practicing since the age of 4 really does have its upsides, I guess. Haha, Izuku, you have shown me that you are a capable man today, but please don't have any grandchildren just yet. I do think I can welcome you into the family now, and I give you my approval to wed Izuku Lunar when the time comes, Haishi added. I began to cry and then responded, you have no idea how much this means to me, sir. Thank you so much. I swear to provide her the best care possible. He remarked, you're welcome, Izuku. Also, just to be super clear, me nor Momo have never gotten near that far and don't plan on it for at least a bit. So don't worry, we're not going to have a kid running through these halls for a few years, I responded. Good man, good man, now let's move on before they hear us when they finish, Hiyashi responds. Alright, you say. I spent the remainder of that evening in complete joy and contentment, getting to know the entire Yaoyorozu family and having a terrific time with them. Location unknown, Tamura's POV. They were given 14 days, huh? Kurogiri alerts the army about our impending onslaught in 42 days. I give him a call. Tamura, I'm on it. Just wait until August 12th, when Japan will no longer be safe, and the love will then take over the world. Tamura chuckles to himself, Izuku, just wait. Just wait. Location unknown. Third POV. Shigaraki screamed, now come here Otsutsuki. What's up Shigaraki, you know just because we are allied with you until we beat Awakening doesn't mean you get to act like our boss, responded. Angrily, Shigaraki inquired, what's the status on your comrades? Well, Shiggy, they will arrive in 3 days, then with me and my brother as well as the 20 incoming members we will destroy Awakening, and take the power from this world, responded. Shigaraki exclaims, good, the purge over the world will soon begin, before breaking into laughter. Then the unidentified individual departed, leaving Shigaraki alone. Shigaraki laughed as he told himself, in addition, Izuku's real quirk, King's authority, will allow me to rule this world and kill all heroes. Shigaraki examined Izuku Yagi's medical report from their mole doctor, who helps people with God-ranked peculiarities become quirkless. Izuku Yagi is his name. Date of birth, July 15th. Quirk. Absolute authority. Enables the user to establish their authority by countering the opponent's quirk with a stronger version of the opponent's quirk or a quirk that outperforms the others. Cons. Analysis. Inadequate analysis may lead to a bad matchup instead of a good one. When quirk is used more than 5 times in a single hour, the brain's ability to think is completely shut down for 5 minutes. Izuku Lunar, I am stronger than you and all those helpless heroes now that I have AFO and your quirk. Izuku's perspective. 3 months have passed since I last checked in with my mentors to see how they were doing. My eyelids close as I put on my Naruto and Sasuke wristbands. Hey Izuku! Shouts Naruto. I reply, what's up Naruto? Saying, been a while kid, Sasuke, sure has, was my reply. So what's new? Inquired Naruto. I say, well. Sasuke screamed, why the fuck do I sense Otsutsuki chakra? Shit they're here, I didn't know, I responded. He said, well, what do you know? I'm about to fight a war against a couple of thousand Nomus, hundreds of thousands of villains, a couple of hundred S-rank villains, well our C-rank villains but still. Anyway we also know that the government is going to shut down the Hero Society because all the villains just up and vanished to help take over, and now thanks to Sasuke I guess we're going to have to face a few Otsutsuki? I respond quickly. Fuck kid you got your work cut out for you, replied Naruto. I answered, well, yeah, naturally, Naruto, Sasuke murmurs, glancing at him. Okay. Sasuke, he answered himself. Well kid seeing as you'll be fighting that army plus 20 Otsutsuki we're going to get help, Sasuke replied. Oh okay. Wait. 20 Otsutsuki fuuuuuuck, I shouted. In a sing-song voice, Naruto exclaimed, you're lucky you're not with the others otherwise you would have been killed. I know it's true, but fuck off. This will be a full-scale conflict. An elderly geezer said, hello, young Naruto, Sasuke. I said, and who is this? The man said, Hagoromo Otsutsuki. Wait you're the sage of 6 paths, I responded. Wow I'm known even outside my world, he commented. I said, well I guess, he said, so what is the problem boys? So he's gotta fight 20 Otsutsuki clan members he has nearly 60 comrades however other than 3 Izumi, Aizawa, and Momo the others won't stand a chance, Sasuke stated. Ah I see the problem, now will you bring Momo, Mizo, Kyoka, the Shinso kid, and Shoto in here? Replied Hagoromo. I respond, sure but how? Yeah he was talking to me, ya know, I got it super gramps sage, says Naruto. Okay then. I reply, no longer even startled. According to the sage of 6 paths, Sasuke gets Izumi, Aizawa, Kota, and that Iida kid, disregarding me. I said to him, okay so why are you getting them? You will see, summoning jutsu. He said, no way, Shukaku, Matabi, Isobu, Sun Goka, Kakua, Seiken, Cha Mei, Gia, Ki, and Kurama, I said with excitement. Son Goku asked in amazement, you know our names? Well, ya Naruto never shuts up about how awesome you nine are, I replied. Really now? It's good to know you don't think of us as beasts, stated Matabi. Yup, Saiken concurred. Kurama told everyone, shut up, I'm trying to sleep. Hey Kurama. What was it like being a Jinchuriki with Naruto? I inquire. It was, well, interesting now I'm going to bed, answers Kurama. Hey, you dumb fox, you really gonna sleep in front of the old man? Replied Shukaku. Yup, he complained. Well, enjoy it while you can, Kurama, but I have a request for each of you, remarked Hagoromo. Matabi questioned, and that would be? Kurama remarked, probably something stupid. Man, why can't you be as mellow as you were with Naruto? Ki stated. He objected, forcing everyone to leave, saying, I was never calm. Still having trouble with his own feelings, Kurama, stated Hagoromo. He yelled, shut up old man, with Momo, Shoto, Shinso, Kyoka, and Mizo trailing after. Naruto exclaimed, I'm back. I exclaimed, hey, guys, hey Naruto, they all shouted, this is Naruto. You didn't introduce yourself. Yes, that's Naruto, well at least that's what he looked like during the Fourth Great Ninja War, I replied. Momo cried out, what, but he looks like he's only a year older than us. Well yeah, I mean the war did start happening when he was 16 nearing 17 and ended the day after he turned 17, I replied. Momo spoke up once more, saying, what he, Sasuke interrupted her, saying, shut up, before continuing, you're almost as annoying as that Dobi Naruto. In addition to Aizawa, Iida, Izumi, and Kota, I remarked to Sasuke, welcome back, also hey guys. Now my favor that I asked of you tailed beasts were to choose one of the 9 people here and have them become a Jinchuriki to help you guys, Hagoromo intervened. Who are these beasts? Shoto stated plainly. That's right, everyone meets Shukaku the one tail, Matabi the 2 tails, Isobu the 3 tails, Son Goku the 4 tails, Kakua the 5 tails, Saiken the 6 tails, Cha-Mei the 7 tails, Ki the 8 tails, and Kurama the 9 tails, I respond. Tenya bowed and said, hello, nice to meet you all, several times. Hello, Uncle Sho, Kota, Shinso, and Shoto said. Hi Shukaku, Matabi, Isobu, Son Goku, Kakua, Saiken, Cha-Mei, Gaia, Ki, and Kurama. Momo and Kyoka replied. Hi guys, exclaimed Izumi. Mizo merely gave a nod. And Shukaku, Matabi, Isobu, Son Goku, Kakua, Saiken, Cha-Mei, Ki, and Kurama meet Tenya, Shoto, Shinso, Uncle Sho, Momo, Kota, Kyoka and Izumi. I continued. Wow, they're not like the others who only thought of us like beasts, says Matabi. Shukaku said, I got dibs on the tired kid. Matabi remarked, I would like that Mizo kid. Isobu remarked, I like that Kota kid. Son Goku remarked, I like that Shoto kid. Kakua remarked, I like that Shoto man. Saiken remarked, I like the Izumi girl. Cha-Mei remarked, I like that Tenya kid, he is well mannered. Ki remarked, I like the Kyoka girl. Hagoromo remarked, well, that leaves Kurama with that Momo girl. Wait, I have to be in a brat's body again. No, exclaimed he. Kurama, it's just fine, we can hang out, you don't have to be lonely, Momo stated after approaching and jumping on the fox. Shukaku chuckled and said, haha, dumb fox, you got yourself a nice one. Retorting, shut up raccoon. Thank you very much, I can't thank all 18 of you enough. After this everyone but Izuku and Momo can go back to their dreams to wake up naturally later, says Hagoromo. Okay. We all reply. Now Shukaku, Matabi, Isobu, Son Goku, Kakua, Saiken, Cha-Mei, Ki, and Kurama reach out your paw, claw, leg or whatever to the Jinchuriki host and merge together, that way we don't have to seal them and can get to work a lot faster, said Hagoromo. All of the tailed beasts said, okay. Now before you do, please introduce yourselves to each other so you will have a mutual understanding so you don't fight each other and kill each other, Hagoromo added. Okay. Wait to sec what, Aizawa responded, there was nothing about us dying. According to Iida, yes, I agree with Aizawa sensei. I calmed them down by saying, oh, chill out guys, that will only happen if you piss them off while merging. Before combining, all of the tailed animals spent the next 10 minutes conversing with one another. Momo and Kurama were the latest to merge. Following our merger, we both took a seat in front of Hagoromo, who then presented us with the mark he had previously given to Sasuke and Naruto. While Momo received Naruto's Yin release, I received Sasuke's Yang release. I also received the Ren Sharingan, but unlike Sasuke, who had to start concealing his eye to prevent accidental use, I was able to restore my eye to normal. Last but not least, all of my affinities were much stronger than before. For instance, my basic B rank affinity for fire is now at an S rank level, and my wind and lightning affinities, which were both already S rank, are now SS rank, or Hagoromo level. As a result, I no longer need to use hand signs to activate my wind and lightning jutsu. In addition to changing her looks, Momo developed a liking for the other elements that she had not previously had, and she received a combination of Sage and Kurama modes that made her resemble Naruto. With her natural affinities for water and earth, she also awoke a Kekkei Genkai for wood style. Both Naruto and Sasuke taught us how to use both of our markings after that visit, along with a few additional jutsu that we could now employ with our developing affinity potential and skills. In the real world, it took 4 hours, but it took Momo and myself 40 years. Over the past 20, I helped her become as knowledgeable about various jutsu as I am, and we both turned into monsters in our own right. With a, "Ah well gotta call Momo," I addressed the wall. "Ring wo, it appears to be the opposite. Zuzu, I had a really weird dream." "Well, I thought it was a dream, but she began. I interrupted her. "Wow, stop mumbling, I know it wasn't a dream because me, you, Aizawa, Tenya, Shinso, Izumi, Mizo, Kota, and a few others as well as the tailed beasts were there. Also, it wasn't a dream because you were brought to my mindscape that I was in to contact both of them." She said, "Okay, so UGHHH, what do we do?" "Well, step 1 will be bringing the 9 others to my timescape to master their tailed beast. Then we will prepare for the fight against the troop of the Otsutsuki clan's arrival," I clarify. She answered, "Oh okay," and hung up. Then I stood up and prepared myself. With the help of my shadow clones, I was able to shower, brush my teeth, eat, and get dressed 3 minutes later. I transported outside Momo's room and knocked on the door after that. "Come in," she exclaimed. "Ready to get the others, Mo?" I replied as I opened the door after she had finished dressing. "Let's go," she was saying. I answered, "Okay, but first," kissed her, and then we teleported to Aizawa's residence. And I shouted, "Uncle Sho." Aizawa called back, evidently waking up, "What problem, child?" "Get ready, we'll be back in just a minute, we're going to get your mastery with the tailed beast under control," I added. Now that he was awake, he said, "Wait, that wasn't a dream?" "Yeah, that was real, you'll find Kakuo if you look in your mind," I replied before teleporting to Mizo. My words were, "Hey Mizo, get up," he said, "What's up?" while sitting up. I said, "Get ready, we're training you with your tailed beast," and yes, that was real, before switching to Kota. I said, "Hey, Kota," he said, "Hey, Izuku. Kota, I need you to get ready, I'm going to be training with the tailed beast. No, that wasn't a dream, so please get ready, okay?" He said, "Okay," and prepared himself. "Hey Shino, Mandalay, Yuara, Tiger, Tomoko, Ragdoll, Ryuko, Pixie Bob. Get up, I have something to discuss," I scream. Shino shouted, "Izuku, is that you?" with a weary tone. I yell at them, "Yup, we gotta talk real fast about Kota." All 3 rose at this point and came to meet me in the living room. "So what's up?" Yuara inquired. Wheel Kota is going to be forced into the incoming war," I replied. "And why is that, Izuku? I thank you for what you did with Kota, but you cannot take a child to a battlefront," Shino barked. "Well then, thank Hagoromo for that one, it's because what is now inside him that he will be in the war, however he won't be fighting," I replied. "What is in him?" inquired Tomoko. Kota replies, "Isobu the 3 tails," as he enters. Her question was, "What is that?" "Nada wada who," was said by Isobu through Kota after his eyes transformed. "What was that?" inquired Ryuko, to which Kota replied, "Isobu." "I don't follow," said Yuara, when I said, "Follow all 5 of us." Confused, Shino replied, "But there are only 3 here?" Through their Jinchuriki, Isobu and Kurama questioned, "Really?" Shino answers, "Okay then, we'll follow you 5. Then, as I stopped the Pussycat team and Kota and Momo continued walking farther in, we entered the front of the woodland. Yuara inquired, "Where are they going?" "Far enough away to make sure they don't crush you," I reply. Shino cried out, "Okay, wait, what is that supposed to mean?" You'll see those 4, just watch those 4, I said. Ragdoll remarked, there are still only 4, you sure about that? I inquire. In response, Tomoko said, well why, 2 enormous creatures materialized out of nowhere. A fox with 9 tails and a creature that resembled a turtle but had 3 enormous tails. How are you, Isobu? Kurama asked. Not much Kurama, Isobu remarked. Shino inquired anxiously, where are Kota and Momo? I'm here Auntie Shino, Isobu said, his eyes taking on Kota's and his voice mimicking Kota's. Wait where? Inquired Tomoko. Those beasts are Kota and Momo. The fox is Momo, Kurama, and the turtle-like one is Kota, Isobu. I told you 4 inches, said I. Is that true? Inquired Ryuko. As Kota replied, ya Auntie Pixie. The voice of Momo came from Kurama's body, hee Zuzu. Wow, you look really small. What about now? Susano said as I teleported to the center and exploded to my maximum speed. There you go. That's your max Susano, right? It looks so cool, she said. Kota exclaimed, wow, that is so cool. Ya Kota, it's called Susano now Kurama. Isobu lets detransform and goes back. The pussycats are already surprised, I replied. They responded, okay fine, before changing back into their human selves. Boo! I said as I teleported behind Momo and Kota, grabbing them both. All 4 cried out, Jesus, after receiving their composition. I asked, now, do you see 5 of us? Well yeah, but how did that thing get into Kota? Ryuko inquired. As Kota put it, that's rude, they're not a thing. Ryuko responded, sorry, Kota and Isobu, but still how? I told Kota and the others that we had to go since there were 20 Otsutsuki either already here or on their way. After that, I woke everyone up and began the training by grabbing Kota and Momo and teleporting them. Now hello, Tenya, Shoto, Shinso, Uncle Sho, Kota, Kyoka, and Izumi. We are going to have you all practice with your tailed beast as well as linking to it and getting a mutual feel for each other. Now, reminder, today is the 8th day of Heroes sponsoring us. Most likely the war won't start till August because that way it can be blamed on us for not taking our hero responsibilities well enough. So until the day they attack, we are going to train you today will be with your tailed beast. From then on we'll be solidifying all your attacks, am I understood? Yes Izuku, is the reply from all 8. I held up 2 Mangekyo Sharingan eyes and said, good. Also, Shota, good job with your Sharingan. After tomorrow we're going to be training your Mangekyo after we replace your eyes with these. He questioned, whose eyes are those? Mine, I answered. He pondered, then whose eyes are you using? I reply, oh, these are Sasuke's. Izumi questioned, then whose eyes were he using? I answered, those were his brothers, Itachi's. He took his own brother's eyes. How cruel, Tenya exclaimed. Well, when he originally killed his brother at the time he was under the impression that he killed their family and clan in cold blood, so he killed him and eventually took his eyes after he went blind to access the M's, I said. Kyoka inquired, what do you mean by in cold blood? Well, actually, Itachi murdered them all to stop them from staging a coup that would have triggered the 4th Great Ninja War and could have destroyed their nation and village, I replied. So he killed his clan and family. How terrible, Izumi responded. Mazo questioned, was there no way to solve this peacefully? They tried for a long time to solve it in peace, but they never could because they were blamed for something they couldn't do as well as move to an area they didn't want to be in, so they were really pissed, answered I. Moving on, remarked Aizawa. Right now all of you let your tailed beast take control, I said. When I encountered 7/8 tailed monsters, I noticed that Shinso had not switched. He exclaimed, I can't switch. Well then for now just do these hand signs and say play possum jutsu, replied I. His words were, oh, okay, I'm free, exclaimed Shukaku after completing the action. The other 7-tailed monsters and their companions yelled, Shukaku, calm down. So Shukaku, is it possible for you guys to switch without making him do that? If that's possible then will you be more receptive please? I'm curious. And what's a week? What was that? I interrupted, going into my Susano. Everyone else, including Momo and Kurama, who also changed, laughed. That's not funny, shouted Shukaku. You're right, it's hilarious. No, but in all seriousness, I have the abilities of Sasuke who clapped your cheeks, not to mention the fact that I have other moves as well, so don't judge a book by its cover, I said. Momo questioned, now that that's done, what should we do? I want all of you to work on how fast you can switch as well as all your other modes like a cloak instead, and then afterward I want you to just talk to each other and make sure you can all have an understanding with each other. Once you have full trust in each other you should be able to switch between control in a moment's notice as well as turn into the tailed beast form and back in seconds. Momo, this is where I hand you control. You were the one who did this. I'm not a Jinchuriki, so this is your leading this one, I stated before leaving the location. From Momo's perspective, the fascinating thing is that Kota and Isobu got along well because they were already best friends when we started working together. They completed what we estimated would take 2 days and 30 minutes. Izuku scooped him up and brought him home to the pussy cats when I messaged him. Additionally, a good rapport developed between Shinso and Shukaku. They were doing exceptionally well and were a little ahead of the others. The remaining 6 were traveling at the anticipated pace. Since we were friends with them prior to joining Jinchuriki, it is incredibly simple, so there is always that time skip. The training's conclusion nearly as sadistically as Nezu, Zuzu exclaimed. Good job everyone. You all did great, but now the real shit begins. When Mr. Aizawa remarked, oh god, not another Nezu. I'm just playing with ya. Now Aizawa, let's work on that surgery. The other 7 of you, I would like for you to begin to work out the different abilities and advantages you have with your tailed beast. Also check up on your friend from time to time, okay? Zuzu replied with a blinding grin. Zuzu, what do you want me to do? I inquire. Omo, why don't you go back and help both teams with their abilities over the next month? We are going to make some exceptional level Jonin hunters that even Naruto and Sasuke would struggle against, said he. After saying, okay, I left to train. Izuku's perspective. Following that brief interaction with Momo, Aizawa and I walked to the recovery girl's office, where she oversaw the surgery. After giving Aizawa a lot of sedative, we relocated him, retrieved the scalpel and other instruments, and carefully removed his eyeballs so we could replace them without harming his nerves or causing vision problems. Aizawa woke up half an hour after the treatment, which took an hour to complete. This is how his new eyes appeared when they opened. I inquire, you okay, sensei? Groggily, yeah, I'm good, he said. Your Mangekyo is fairly unique, I explain after giving him a mirror. That's one damn good eye, great for intimidation tactics. Sure, but what about mine? I say. Saying, damn, that's one Mangekyo. Sure is. Now I want to test your abilities, but I also want to test a theory, I replied. He said, oh, and what's that theory? I want to see if you can use your Mangekyo, your eraser quirk at the same time, I stated. Okay, I'm intrigued, let's go. Alright, if you're sure. He answered, I'm sure, problem nephew, and got to his feet. I responded, okay, Kamui, as I reappeared in the time-space where everyone was hard at work. You're back, exclaimed the 7. Of course we are. Look at Uncle Show's eyes, they're pretty awesome, huh? I respond. Shinso remarked, well, yeah, they're intimidating. True, Tenya replied. They all went their separate ways after I stated, now enough chit-chat, we can do that late, back to work you guys. Aizawa, I want you to try and use your left eye on this Rasengan and let's see what happens, okay? I say. Okay, he said, attempting to use his eye. After turning intangible, the Rasengan dropped through my hand and onto the floor. After I told him to stop, the Rasengan was activated, causing a slight earthquake. I remarked, well, that's something. Startled, he questioned, that's the power of the Mankyu? Yup, I replied, now it's time for you to do it with your right eye. I felt as though my chakra system was gone when I was ready to create a shadow clone. He was using his right eye when I gazed at him, but as soon as he blinked, the effect stopped and I was back to normal. In reality, I had unintentionally formed a massive Rasengan at that moment. Well, that is something, it's like your quirk, I responded. What do you mean I used my right eye but you never made a jutsu, he said. Because I couldn't, you know your eraser quirk, right? Well, now you can do that to chakra, I replied. Really, that's a bit much though, right? He responded. Well, certainly, but now I want you to try and erase my shadow clones and stop my healing quirk, I replied. Aizawa questioned, but didn't you lose your quirk? Yes, but Eri had a small accident with her quirk last night and had a nightmare, woke up and started crying accidentally using her quirk. She was talking about how the bullet erased all my quirks and I died, so she subconsciously gave it back to me, I said. He inquired, and how did you find out? Ah, well, you see, I kind of fell and sprained my ankle when going down the stairs this morning, and then I felt healed after a few seconds and realized my quirk was back. Hooray, I said. Sighing, problem nephew, I answered, that would be me. He changed the topic and stated, okay, whatever, activate your chakra and quirk, let's do this. Well, I guess I healed a bit, I replied. Together, We worked out how to employ the Mangekyo and his quirk over the course of the following 3 days. Otsutsuki is a very difficult person to defeat. Point of view of Shigaraki. The funding for heroes is about to end, then we have to wait until awakening and all the others can be blamed for not looking into us enough. That way the hero system dies and we rule the world. I chuckled. One of the new recruits declared, yes, we will plant the 10 tails and reap its power. You guys will be perfect subjects. I entered a quiet chamber and remarked, yeah, whatever, now let's get back to plotting our attack on awakening. Izuku's perspective. I shouted, listen up, to the roughly 60 individuals who had joined the groups for the invasion. Everyone fell silent after that call. Now I'm going to announce the leaders for our troops. There are 12 people who will serve as captains for the 60-ish people here, meaning each captain will have about 5 of you to watch over. Also, most of them are from the chakra team because of a power boost they got from one of my mentors who came into my mind and had me give them power because one of the threats from their world has come here. Any questions? I say with pride. Best Jeanist said, I have one. Who are these people? The Otsutsuki clan. They have the abilities of my Ren Sharingan and the Byakugan, which I will tell you about at a later date. Our captains plus me will be the ones fighting their army, I respond. Nieto questioned, who will we be fighting? You'll be fighting their main group of villains as well as some Nomus, I respond. Bakugo angrily exclaimed, can we kill them? They're villains who are trying to take over Japan, so yes, if you can arrest them do, but if you're getting swarmed and don't have the time or ability, kill them. Inquiring, who are the captains? Toshinori, I explained. Hitoshi Shinso, he will be in charge of our long-range attacks. Mazo Shoji from the Nen team will be in charge of 3 fire-style users from our chakra team and 2 Nen teammates. Kota, you could try to fight him, but he is stronger than any of you. He pushed me more than any of you here could. He will be in charge of the medics while you won't be one. He will be their guard. Shoto Todoroki of the Nen team and one of your teachers, he will be in charge of 1 fire user, 1 earth user, and 3 Nen users. Next is Shota Aizawa, class 1 is homeroom teacher. He will be supervising a platoon of frontliners with Captain Shoji. Next is Izumi. She and her squad will be making traps at night to give us an upper hand when the fight comes in the mornings. Next is Tenya Iida. He will be leading a platoon who will be covering the air for us. Next is Kyoka. She will be manning a team who excel with water style and will man a team watching the waters as well as when we're in the mainland will be guarding us from ambushes. Next is the unifier Momo Yaoyorozu, who is a teacher for the Nen team but also an exceller in chakra. She will be manning scouting team. After the scouting missions her team will be placed with other teams and she will join me as the front runner. Next is Kota. He will man a team of manipulators like him. The last 2 are going to house the few who are behind the rest in skill and need a sufficient teacher. Those 2 teams will be led by Vlad King for chakra and Telik for Nen. Once those 2 have gotten each of the others to a sufficient level, they and their platoons will join one of the other 2 teams and will join their squad, at which point we will have 9 leaders and about 7 of you per team. The other 2 will also step back if someone needs help with some physical training after getting injured. Excuse me, but why are you sending children to lead the forces? The best Jeanist responded. I would understand people like Aizawa leading as he is a teacher, but the other teachers are either a part of a squad or backup for the children leading. Many whispers of agreement with best Jeanist were then heard. Quickly I responded, if you noticed you would see that most of the leaders are those who have been training in their extra ability for more than 3 months now, other than Shota Aizawa, Hitoshi Shinso, and Kota. However, there is a second reason: release the beasts. All 9-tailed animals approached the army on all sides as soon as I said the keyword. Toshinori inquired, what is the meaning of this? Momo shouted from inside Kurama, hey, guys. Kendo inquired, where did that come from? Hello, I'm Shoto Todoroki with the 4 tails, Shoto remarked to his group from inside his tailed beast. Now guys, let's start from Shukaku to Kurama. Okay, that way we go in order, I responded. Hey guys, I'm Shukaku. Shukaku said before giving Shinso command. Hey, I'm Shinso too. Shukaku is the tailed beast that I have sealed in my body, but we all have become friends with our tailed beasts and are able to communicate through each other. Matabi gave Mazo command, saying, I'm Matabi, but also, I'm Isobumi and Kota will watch over the medics. Isobu said, just don't annoy me about heroes and stuff. I'll do my job. I expect you to do yours. I believe Shoto introduced himself. I'm Son Goku, Son responded. Aizawa from the 5 tails stated, you better not slack off, adding, I'm Kakuo, and we expect great things from our team. Izumi added, hey, don't forget about me, Saiken. As the 6 tails said, my turn, I'm Saiken. He halted and relinquished control, saying, hey, guys, good to see you. I'm Tenya Iida, the Jinchuriki of me. The name's Chomei, by the way. Thank God Kyoka isn't rapping all the time. My name is Gyuki and Kyoka is my Jinchuriki, stated Gyuki. That would be me, alright, go Momo. I'm Kurama, the strongest of the Biju here, stated Kurama. I'm Kurama's Jinchuriki Momo. Following the introductions, I added, see why they're leading. They're already a 2-in-1 team, plus they're some of our strongest men when they came, that is why they're leading. Why didn't I get one? I'm the next number one, I demand I take one of those beasts, Bakugo exclaimed. Matabi remarked, that's why you didn't get one. You wouldn't see us as partners but as just a tool for yourself, said Son Goku. When Kurama concluded, now scram or shut up, Bakugo responded with a grunt, still furious. All 9 team leaders detransformed and went to see their respective team captains when I stated, now that all the confusion is solved, I want you all to choose your team. Reminder, please choose a team that fits your strong suit or you will be killed. August 4, 2321. After 4 days, all the teams are now polished and prepared to play. I'm simply relieved Shigaraki hasn't launched an attack yet. It's only a matter of time till they appear. My estimations range from tomorrow to the 20th at the latest. I had anticipated that all of the leadership issues and team count would be completed and available by yesterday. I remarked, hey Momo, how about you spend the night? Right before she went for the day. She said, I'd love to, and we headed upstairs to watch a movie together. I needed this to get away from all the stress. I've been patrolling all the cities in Japan for the past 2 days. You don't know just how much I've just wanted to sit here and cuddle with you, Mo, I told her shortly before we began the film. Me too, it's been a while, huh? I mean, we went on dates for a week straight right before August because we knew that after that we would have to prepare for the war, said Mo. I took her up and placed her in my lap before grabbing a blanket to cover us and watching the movie. Yeah, but now I got you to myself, so I'm just gonna cuddle with you, I remarked. Skip ahead 2.5 hours. At the end of the film, Momo dozed out on my shoulder. I picked her gently and carried her over my shoulder like a baby to my room, where I set her down on my bed before preparing to lay down on the floor. Momo said, just as I was ready to fall asleep. Oh, I woke you up, I'm sorry, I responded. No, I was awake the whole time, I just wanted you to carry me, answered Mo. I said, okay, so why'd you say Because you're going to sleep with me in this bed, no arguments. I don't know the next time we'll be able to be together, so you're going to cuddle with me, she stated. I said, okay then, positioned myself behind her, and hugged with her till I slept off in less than a minute. Momo whispered softly, man, he fell asleep fast. I love you, Izuku, and I always will, before laying down and dozing out more quickly than I did. 5:45 a.m. time skip. Buzz. Who in the world might be sending Momo a text message at such an early hour? More significantly, though, how in the world did Momo and I end up this way? Right now, I was underneath Momo, and she was on top of me, lying down on my chest. Being as cautious as possible, I reached out, took her phone, dimmed the screen, and checked to see what was going on. 8 texts that, father, left unread 10:03 p.m. yesterday. Dad. Where are you, Momo? Momo. I apologize, it just sort of came up after both of us had a tough day today. I'm watching a movie with Zuzu. Father. All right. Momo. I adore you. Father. I also adore you. 4:03 a.m. Dad. Did you stay over, Momo? 4:12 a.m. Father. That's a yes, I'll assume. 5:02 a.m. Dad. Are you awake yet? 5:43 a.m. Father. Momo, are you awake yet? Dad. Momo. Father. How are you, Dad? Momo. I'm starting to worry. Father. I'm going to Izuku's house if you don't reply right away. Momo. Hello Haishi, this is Izuku. Momo. You're right, she fell asleep while watching the movie, which ended at 12:03 a.m., therefore she's still asleep as of right now. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. Father. All well, thanks, Izuku. Have a good day. Momo. Thank you again, I'll do it, Father. Let's sort out your guys' strategy. Just have Momo text me when she wakes up. Momo. That sounds excellent, we'll talk later. Izuku. Who is it? Momo said blearily, nobody, let's go back to sleep, okay? After saying, MK Zuzu good night, Momo fell asleep right away. I muttered, good night, Mo. I love you, and then I dozed off while teasing her hair. 8:48 a.m. Yawn, those pillows were really soft and firm at the same time. I need to know where you got these, man Zuzu. After that, I glanced about before realizing I was dozing off on Izuku's chest. Tomato mode. Zuzu's chest was where I was sleeping. God, I'm going to pass out. Morning Mo, what's up, why are you blushing? Replied Zuzu. I replied, I slept on your chest thinking they were the best pillows on the earth, and then I covered my mouth. Did I say that out loud, Supreme Tomato mode? Why yay, but hey, you were the perfect blanket, so I guess that M makes us even? Tomato mode, responded he. Supreme Overload Tomato mode, why yay, I guess, I answered. Calm down, it's not a big deal, just something we're not used to, okay? He replied after leaning up to kiss me. Deep breath. Okay, well, good morning, Zuzu, do you know what time it is? Inquired Mo. Yeah, Zuzu responded quietly, it's around 9 a.m. I said as I got up. Shoot training with our groups start at 9:30, I gotta hurry and get ready. It was Zuzu who calmly remarked, calm down, when I saw you were still asleep at 8:30 I contacted your team saying that you'll be late for personal reasons and that you'll be there at 10 o'clock, so just calm down, K. I felt my arms snatch me from behind. I said, okay, and he released his grip. Now I'm gonna grab you a towel, you can look through my clothes, I guess. After that, while you're showering, I'm gonna make us breakfast. Oh, one more thing, your dad wanted me to tell you to text him when you wake up. Okay. Alright, I'll do that. I then went to go through his things and picked out a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt that I liked. When I turned around, I saw Zuzu holding a towel to open the door for me. I picked it up, went to the restroom, and began taking a shower. Having Zuzu as my boyfriend is such a blessing. He is incredibly gorgeous, serene, and loving. I have the ideal husband. I said, you have truly improved me, Zuzu, after looking down at myself. I quickly changed into my clothes after taking a shower, and I texted my dad after that. Momo. Hello, Dad, I just woke up, and I heard you wanted me to text you. What's up? Father. Hello, Momo. I was simply curious about your plans for today. Momo. Well, I have to start getting my squad ready. Kurama and I have a lot of work to do, so that's that. After that, though, I kind of wanted to spend more time with Zuzu. Father. All right, tell me where you are. Additionally, please hold off on doing it till you're older. Momo. Daddy, we've been dating for 11 months, and tonight was our first time hugging. I'm just 17 years old, and I'll be 18 in a few months. Please stop making me feel uncomfortable. Father. All right, I simply don't want any more grandchildren in the near future. Izuku was preparing waffles with strawberries, light whipped cream, and his homemade syrup when I got downstairs. My top choice. Zuzu, you didn't have to do this. This looks so good though, I replied. After saying, I know I didn't have to but I wanted to, he completed setting our plates on the table. Zuzu called, Eri. She yelled back, obviously still sleepy, what daddy? Come on, it's 9 a.m. breakfast is ready. I made waffles, he said. A white streak was seen moving quickly toward the table in the hallways. The streak ended, revealing a bedridden Eri. Well guys, dig in. Also Eri, today we're gonna go play in the park with Kota, okay? Momo, I'll be helping you today with my shadow clones while I patrol Japan again today. I'm sorry I can't be with either of you in person, but I need to make sure everyone feels safe, Zuzu remarked. I said, okay, at least I'll get to hang out with you even if it's a clone, and Eri hummed in agreement. Okay, also I'll have a clone be taking care of watching over the medic team today, and I'll make sure to reinforce all my shadow clones so it takes more than a few hits to disperse them, he stated before starting to eat. Izuku's point of view on August 12, 2321. Why are they taking so long to attack, Kami? It has been a week since their earliest possible attack. I've been watching them, and it appears that they are all prepared to launch the invasion there right now. What is preventing them from doing so? I would attempt to shut them down, but I would hardly get inside before one of the Otsutsuki suddenly began to detect my presence, forcing me to depart without remembering where I had seen them. My first reaction upon arriving home was to scream, damn it Shigaraki. Just fucking attack already, while settling down on the couch. I know it's hard waiting for something you know is coming but not being able to do anything, but if you lose it now then we're going to lose. Plus, time is our friend, not theirs, Momo said as she entered the room, noticed how I was feeling, and sat down next to me. You're right, Mo. I'm sorry, it's just been 12 days since I presumed the earliest that they would attack, and now well, I'm just getting annoyed of waiting for something when it may not happen, I said. Mo said, come here, and I shuffled over. Just relax, okay? You're our strongest link, my home, my lover, I just want you to lay down, okay? She whispered, pushing me into her lap. I dozed off after she said that, as simple as that. Point of view of Shigaraki. The hallways echoed with applause for joy as I cried, "We attack tonight at 10 p.m. Get ready and get some sleep. When we attack, the hero society will fall." Following that, I followed my own advice and set an alarm for 9 p.m. 6.5 hours of sleep is ideal. 1 hour later, time jump, Izuku's point of view. When I woke up, I was in Mo's lap while she watched TV. My girlfriend saw that I had woken up, but all I wanted was to remain there for a little while longer in her warmth. "So how was your little nap? You feeling better?" Mo asked. I responded, "It was fantastic, I slept like a rock, and thank you, I really needed that, but now I need to call them. I need to call the top 10. It's wartime." "Okay, just be careful and don't forget I love you, okay?" "I love you to Momo." "I love you too." I then departed and visited the top 10 group chats. Awakening. "Okay, let's schedule a meeting at my place at 6 p.m. Don't be late." Attempt. "No, why should we come, Mirko? Hawks." 3 reasons for awakening. A. The likelihood of invasion is now 96%. B. There aren't any crimes, so I know you can all make it. And C. Preparation so that, in the event of no invasion, we can all take care of a region and I don't have to monitor Japan every single goddamn day. Edgeshot. "Alright, I will be present." Mirko. The same. Hawks. "See you, youngster." Effort. "Okay, Ryukyu. Izuku, see you soon." Best Genist. "I know it originated with you, but nevertheless, don't waste our training time, child." Endeavor. "What are you discussing?" Awakening. "I'll tell you everything at the meeting." Effort. "Okay, see you soon." Awakening, Gang Orca. Kamui Woods. Izuku, "See you wash. I'll try my best." Yaroi. "Alright, I suppose if everyone else shows up." I yelled the final line, "Alright, Mo, we were meeting at 6 p.m. until then, it's cuddle time." "Okay, Zuzu, come here now," she called back. After that, I hurried to my girlfriend and spent the time cuddling with her. That is, until 5:30, when I changed into my clothes and prepared my upstairs conference room for our visitors. Ding dong, I suppose they're here. I removed my mask and opened the door as I down the stairs wearing my hero outfit. 9 out of 10 heroes were in front of me. Shinji was the only one absent, but I assume that's to be expected since he lives rather far away and the meeting is still 10 minutes away. I said, "Hello everyone, follow me, and I'll show you to my meeting room," and escorted them there. After going upstairs, I turned left, proceeded to the end of the corridor, opened the door, and saw the chamber. Mirko exclaimed, "What in the nani fuck?" Mirko, "Stop, you're embarrassing yourself," Best Genist remarked. "It's alright, I wanted to impress y'all so I got the place all set up," I said. "Alright boy, now tell us why the invasion chance rose from 68% to 96%, stated Endeavor. "I will when Shinji gets he ding dong, speak of the devil, and he shall arrive now while I get Kamui. All of you take a seat anywhere is fine and I'll be right up with Kamui," I said and headed out to retrieve Shinji. He too looked astonished when I brought him up, and he sat down. While the other 10 sat on the sides, I sat in the center rear of the room. "Okay, well now that that's settled, I believe I'm due for an explanation," I said. Endeavor remarked, "Yes, that's true. Now, get on with it." Geez, talk about pushy. But here's the rundown. Yesterday I was patrolling around Japan again. I took a small break and was just wandering. I ended up getting lost, but I found the love base. But before I could do anything, one of the Otsutsuki team sensed me and I had to teleport away, forgetting where I was," I said. "But what I saw was nearly 2,000 Nomus by estimate, about 5x that in villains, and 22 Otsutsuki and the 5 from the love leadership. Tenko Shimura, Tuya Todoroki, Himiko Toga, and Compress." Endeavor exclaimed, "Tuya was there. That's impossible, he's dead." "No, he faked his death to escape your abuse, but we'll talk about that later. For now, I need to fill you in on the Otsutsuki aka aliens," I replied. "They're what?" cried Kamui. I showed them the tailed animals and said, "Yes, we will be fighting the extraterrestrials, but not without our own trump card." "What are those? And how did we never see them?" replied Mirko. "Because until a month ago they didn't exist in our world," I said. "Then, why do they exist now?" Gang Orca went on. "Because I borrowed them from the other world at the request of Hagoromo, or the Sage of Six Paths, to help liberate this planet from his mother's clan," said I. "I think it's best if you start from the top about these beasts," Yaroi interrupted. "The top, huh? Well, the top would need me to start about my quirk. The only quirk I have is the healing one, which at the current point takes about 12 hours before I can heal someone from seconds from death state," I replied. "Then what about your elemental and strength enhancer abilities?" Wash responded. Those are powers anyone can have with the right requirements are met. I won't get into that for now, but just know that the elemental ability comes from a galaxy system far away from our Milky Way system, while my strength enhancer comes from the multiverse. Everyone with me so far? I inquire. Endeavor remarked, like anyone buys that bullshit. You remember that video of Tenya? I responded. Yes, that was quite impressive, but that was a quirk awakening, not this power, as you put it, Endeavor remarked. Yay, because awakening an engine quirk turns into controlling fire. That was chakra or the elemental changeability, but it does more than just give elemental attacks and defense. But I'm not here to tell you about all that. I'm here to tell you that the Otsutsuki clan comes from the same galaxy system as the chakra system. The Otsutsuki clan are a clan of power gaining. They implant a 10-tails beast into a habitable planet, then when it turns into a tree and produces fruit they take it to get a power boost. It's kind of like quirk boosting drugs, but like 10,000 times better, and had no drawbacks as well as was permanent. Everyone understand this? Hawks remarked, I guess it's so far-fetched though. Agreed, said Edgeshot. Now the next part comes into play. In one world one of their clanswomen came to collect the fruit but fell in love with one of the humans there. One day it was found out that she killed some escorts who tried to kidnap her from another land. There was no proof for her side, so it was either the small country had to fight a war they couldn't win or hand over her to be executed. The young lord chose to kill her with huge regret, but when both of them tried she took a bite of the fruit and made the tree take all the citizens from both nations and turned them into body bags for the tree. However, she learned that she bore the children of the man she loved. Years later, and she had released some of the population. However, she changed their memory and made it so slowly some citizens would go back to become fertilizer for the tree again. One of the women that were going, one of her two sons had fallen in love with, was now going to be sacrificed. That's when the two brothers revolted and fought for years against their mother, destroying mountains, changing oceans and continents, and more just to stop her mother. After they did, the younger of the twins rode up to guard the people against unsealing her mom, who created the current moon in their solar system, while the elder handed out chakra as a means to connect people. However, it eventually became weaponized, and that's how most of the uses of chakra came to be spread out. One man who wanted to train me had a quirk that could connect the multiverse and world, and that's how he met the people who taught me. The people who taught me were the reincarnates of the eldest son's children, I finished. Okay. So that's how you got the powers. However, what happened to the man? Also, how does that connect to the people here now? Replied Edgeshot. Best Jeanist went on, and how does this apply to our fight? Because the people here have that power of the whole fruit, not just a bite. Now remember how I said they planted the 10 tails? Well, during the fight the 10 tails helped the mother. However, once they defeated the beast, they split the beast into 9 parts, and those 9 parts are those beasts that are now in front of you. They said that. Go on, said Mirko. Now I and Momo have the power given to the two sons to seal them. However, it will be easier to kill them. But first know the clan eventually came a few millennia after Kagaya got sealed. They were stopped, but when they fought they never had to fight more than 4 at once and were about to go up against 22. 22 of those monsters. I can go against 3 at once and do fine thanks to my other ability. However, those beasts are sealed currently within 9 hosts who, when working in perfect tandem, which all 9 of them achieved, can make each one of them stronger. These 9 plus me will go up against them. We need you 9 to go up against the 5 villains in charge of the operation, while the 60 trained people I have will fight their army of 12,000. Finished. Sounds reasonable, but what is the difference in strength between this chakra and a quirk? Yaroi responded. A civilian's chakra, if the user used it, they have the potential to be 3x stronger than All Might in his prime. A civilian. A genin has the strength to take down 20 prime All Knights and come out on top. A mid-level chunin or the rank above has the ability to take down 50, a jonin. They could take out 90 and come out with minor injuries. An S rank, you ask? 3,000 and wouldn't be phased, I concluded. RR really? He inquired. Yup. Nen is about the same but a bit lower, I responded, and then added, now for those of you I haven't already trained, it's a bit late, but I will train anyone who survives. Also, one last thing, Shigaraki has all for one now. Hawks exclaimed, fuck. This couldn't get harder. You're wrong. If they could access the multiverse this would be a lot harder, but nonetheless we will prevail, I replied. True, but I'm a rescue hero, I'm not good in combat, so I don't think I can help take down the big baddies, Wash replied. Okay, well then, why don't you help get our team off the field when they get injured, I replied. Wash said, sounds good to me. Now for the planning part. Yeah, I just needed a third reason. Let's put this off till after the war. Okay. Good, I said. We then struck up a conversation and talked for half an hour before splitting up and heading away. I just wanted to hug since it was 7:06 p.m. 10 p.m. time skip. Shigaraki Pav. I shouted. Attack. as 10,000 criminals and 2,000 Nomus charged into Mustafu.
I will continue the story in next part. Till then, bye bye.